Destiny chat. It was like a chat created for like edginess in Chud's community because he had like a lefty audience and he wanted to let the edgy people of a chat to be edgy in. And the chat has become now like about 15 regulars. Destiny's molded about it, but it's mostly now like a Destiny A-logging chat, essentially, even though that's not its purpose. And this Ryzek individual is one of my biggest ops, okay? So I like to go in there because it's a bunch of like, whoa, whoa, 20 fucking dollars right off the bat? Almost a quarter of the way to goal right off the bat? That's insane. Who did that? We need to see who did that. Salvo's ex-wife? Please don't bring on that rat bastard piss cakes on again. He spent all the rent money on Blow Kane towards the end. Have a great stream made in AG4L. Thank you, Salvo's ex-wife. And listen, we had some fun last night. I'll remember it forever. I'm sure you will too. But this Ryzek person is a very unfunny individual, doesn't like me, but the whole chat doesn't like me, but I like to go in there and just troll. And I went in there and I think I made a comment along the lines of, I don't understand why the Destiny stuff is like such a big deal. Like I feel like we've all done what Destiny's done, like at one point or another. Okay? Obviously, I've not recorded sex acts with people, I've not had recorded sex acts with people, and I've not released those recorded sex acts because they don't exist to people without their consent. That's me fucking trolling and baiting or whatever. And someone's gonna do the thing like, oh, you made a stupid take and now you're only pretending to be retarded. Schrodinger's retard. It's like, no, that's obviously a troll because I'm an incel, okay? I don't have anybody to film sex tapes with. And then or a volcel. I'm sorry, slip up. I don't have anybody to film sex tapes with. Yo, sorry, I had my thing muted. Plants with the $5. Happy Saturday. Thank you so much. Happy Saturday. This is why I like plants, okay? I appreciate anybody's money. You could say anything to me if you're donating. But plants is the only person that donates to people and is like normal about it with the message. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. And I appreciate the $5, of course, but a normal donation on an Aiden stream. Unheard of. Unheard of. Doesn't Queeman make stupid takes and say he was trolling like all the time? I mean, yeah, but he is troll. Like he'll go in my chat and just say stuff to rile me. I do the same thing, but at some point I gotta stop because people are then gonna think it's like my serious opinion. I'm not gonna talk about the Destiny stuff. Besides the next 5 seconds, I've given my opinion on it. Obviously, I think what happened was egregious. I have no excuses for it. Well, I don't need excuses for it because I didn't do it, but anyways, apparently people really do not like Queeman, okay? Chud uploaded a video or a VOD about Queeman, and one of the comments said the following. Basically, this card posting person made a video. Card shouldn't have backed down. Cum Man is the worst of the community. He's not even good at reacting, hence dead air. Taking him at his word is now the wrong thing. I don't know. I feel like Chud is in a position he can't ever say too much about him as him because he's vouched for him so hard. I'd rather have Boblax and Tipster back as they at least have content to make fun of besides dead air and Jew. Cum Man is the classic example of have never been shut down physically, so his ego is huge on the internet. I wish I lived near him. And it got 21 likes. This is like unhinged. Hate Queeman all you want, okay? But this is like totally unhinged. It's hilarious. It's hilarious, but it's like, imagine hating someone to this extent. This is like Dodongo Manoof, bro. This Queeman has his own Dodongo Manoof. Like, it's okay to have people that don't like you. You always get that. But occasionally you have people whenever your name is mentioned, like an autistic guy, if he really likes trains, and you say one minor thing about trains and his presence, he'll go into this whole side tangent about like the train thing you're talking about. And like, yeah, and this reminds me of the 1940 model of the, and just go into a ramble about it. There are people that are like that with like creators or commentators, or where you say their name, they'll go into this whole like side ramble, like a fucking schizophrenic homeless guy on the sidewalk, like Sunday with Destiny. Destiny, there are so many good things to criticize about, but you say Destiny's name even before this, and Sunday's like, the cum slinging fucking slasher, the taking up the ass, Mr. Butt Plug, blue hair, fucking gay Destiny, HIV cum slinger. Like, there's just people, they just have this one person, and you say, like, I mean, it's cringe. It is very cringe to hate. Even if I don't like them, it is cringe to hate someone to this extent. I mean, I do this with a Cheeto, but I'm like laughing at him. Like, it's not like I'm typing out paragraphs like this, where I'm like actually like fuming. This message reminds me of comments people sometimes made at U2 Aiden back in the Kick Aiden era. They still do make comments like this about me. And it's like, what the fuck have I done? To you, at least. I mean, I don't really care. I don't mind. All I care about is when people people are just like blatantly lying about me, which I get a lot of, unfortunately. There are a lot of people that just fucking outright lie about me. But hate me all you want. I'd say there's good reasons to hate me. I'd say if I wasn't me, I'd probably hate me too. But this is insane. Anyways. What is up, Luna Lizzie? So Brad Taste is back, apparently. Do we check that? I mean, we don't really have a lot of... Listen, the content well is dry. I'm not covering Destiny, so if you want to go link anything you want me to check out, you can go to topic suggestions. We do have some things to cover, though. Hold on. All right, cool. Luna Lizzie beats women. I don't think that's true. But if it is true, I'll defend Luna Lizzie.
What's up? So,
Hair needs to be a bit curlier.
the reason I'm making this video
It's very dry.
is for the last 3 years, I've every
Listen, if your hair does not look like Rusty Springs, we're not talking.
year around the same time made a video talking about each year that I've been sober from weed. And I know
So this guy went to rehab for weed, and I just want to preface this by saying people are gonna laugh at this, right? Because it's weed. It's not like heroin or some shit. And sure, weed is not like physically addictive like other substances are. But if you have mental illness already, it can have effects that exacerbate that for some people. And I know Brad has previously stated he has bipolar disorder, so I don't know if potentially like mania could be exacerbated or whatever by his weed usage. So I'm not really I don't disregard people who have a problem with weed. I mean, there's literally like the DSM, like there's marijuana use disorder. It's an actual disorder in the DSM. There are people that use it just to like get high all day and escape. No, it's definitely, I mean, okay. So there's physical addiction, and then there's like dependence, mental addiction or whatever. There's addiction and dependence, but we kind of use the two interchangeably. But like physical addiction is like you get like sick when you get off heroin or whatever. You get like an itch, you're nauseous, you have a headache, you're fatigued. Mental addiction, you just like you feel or dependence is you're reliant on it to get through your day, and you feel a lot of distress when you don't have it.
that a lot of people are already like, whoa, weed, what? That's
Still ain't even bad, bro. He's just a bitch. No, weed can absolutely be bad for some people. I reject that.
it's just weed. What are you talking about? I have no energy to convince those people about anything involving weed. So
If you've underlying mental illness, the thing about any psychoactive substances, it varies person to person, and for most people, they're not gonna have a problem. Some people, especially if you've predisposed mental illness, it's gonna react with you in a way it's not gonna react with other people. And in some people, they literally just become psychotic, but they have like underlying problems that kind of exacerbates that. There is, for some people, for some reason, something called marijuana psychosis. It's a real thing.
That's not who this video is for. It's for the people who
I
been
know I sound cringe like fucking Nancy Reagan in the 1980s or whatever. No, weed is mostly fine, right? Go smoke your weed. I don't give a fuck. Go smoke your weed. I don't care. But I'm just saying this narrative that like people who do have problems with it are like inherently a bitch or inherently a bitch. I kind of reject that. Like I think both sides cope a little bit. There's the boomer anti-weed side, which I jokingly kind of support sometimes. And then there's the, dude, there's nothing wrong with weed at all.
following on that journey and who understand the kind of effect that it has on me and possibly on them, and that it's not just all daisies and roses for everybody. For me personally, what we did was it made me feel extremely confident and indestructible, and like I knew what I was doing all the time, and that
So he has bipolar disorder. What he's just essentially, I'm not okay. I'm not doing armchair psychologist, whatever. But like the feeling indestructible, whatever. That's like maybe that's not what he's saying, but like that is like how someone would describe going through a manic episode. And I think I could totally be off on this. I'm gonna have to look it up. I think for some people, marijuana can, with bipolar disorder, marijuana can exacerbate mania.
I felt like I was grounded to the world and that things were interesting and, that everything made sense. This, of course, was a complete facade that did not go well whenever it wore off, and I would
All
usually...
right, this isn't even funny. I don't know what I'm gonna say about this. You can go watch it yourself. I have nothing to say about this. I'm not gonna. I mean, there's nothing to say here. I misinformed Ozzy. So do I, dude. So do I. Remember when he owned Queeman? Dude, he owned fucking Queeman. Aiden is running from Tommy's always welcome to come on, like always. Nobody's running from anybody. Okay. No, bro, I just need to smoke 8 blunts a day or else I can't function. It's not addictive at all, bro. Trust. For sure. For sure, dude. For sure. This guy looks horrible, poor thing. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Looks like he's taking care of his beard a little bit, but the hair situation, I mean, I'm one to talk. But the hair situation is not looking so good. Alright. People get upset over the lightest criticism of weed. Yeah, because you're attacking their life, their whole life. What? Oh, fuck, jump scare. Okay, we're too close. We're too close. We gotta zoom out a little bit. Wait, okay, so to bring up our next thing here. Wait, hold on. Wait, fuck. We're way too close. Jump scare. Um, where is it? Oh yeah, so essentially, Elon has another baby mama. For those of you that don't know, Elon Musk, he's running the Doge operations. Um, one of the, or he is the wealthiest man on earth. He has like fucking, what is it, 10 kids with like 4 different baby mamas. He's like the fucking Hercules of conservatism. Although I'm not gonna misrepresent the conservatives and say they inherently like him. No, I am gonna say that. Your normie conservatives definitely like this guy. Maybe not like your fucking like uh white nationalists or like fucking super right-leaning people, but he is kind of propped up amongst the conservatives. But this guy has like fucking 10 kids, 4 baby mamas. It's a little ridiculous, but he now has another baby mama. 5 months ago, I welcomed a new baby into the world. Elon Musk is the father. I have not previously disclosed this to protect our child's privacy and safety, but in recent days it has become clear that tabloid media intends to do so regardless of the harm it will cause. I intend to allow our child to grow in a normal and safe environment. For that reason, I ask that the media honor our child's privacy and refrain from invasive reporting. Media, Brian Glicklick. Digital strategy. Okay, Brian Glicklick. Dude, what kind of... Of course. Of course he is. Of course he is. Of course. If you know, you know. Anyways. Listen, I never got this. Okay, there's this big meme, okay, amongst like the far right. They're like, look at all these Jewish celebrities that have changed their last name. And it's like, you should change your last name. If your last name is Glicklick, every other immigrant group did this. The Italians shortened their last names. The Irish shortened their last names and made it more American. The fucking Germans shortened their last names and made it more American. For some fucking reason, I don't know why this is. When Jews came to America, the vast majority keep these like insane aesthetically displeasing names, like Glicklick. Do you know, and people like to get on Ralph Lauren for this, the fashion designer. Do you know what Ralph Lauren comes from he comes from a Jewish family. Do you know what his last name was originally? His birth name was Ralph Lifshitz. I'm not kidding you. You like have to hate your child if you're going to keep that last name when they're born. Change your fucking last name. Please. Please. For the love of God. Can you imagine if the fashion brand was called Ralph Lifshitz, dude? Dude, bro, wearing that fucking Ralph Lifshitz polo, know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dude. But yeah, the fucking, the Nazis on Twitter or whatever, they're like, look at all these Jews that changed their name. And it's like, finally, everybody else did it in like the fucking late 1800s. Finally. Holy shit. More of that, please. Anyways. Just my little anti-Semitic side tangent. No, it has nothing to do with people's, you know, heritage. It's just, I don't like aesthetically displeasing names. Aiden changed it to Underground. Yeah, I did. But what I don't understand about this is, if you know they're going to release it, I guess you wanted to get ahead of it. But why not if you know the media is going to drop it, why not reach out to these people in private and ask them to protect the name of your child? Like, why post it and let the whole world know? I guess she had a reason to believe it was coming out in a few days. Wanted to get ahead of it. I don't know. You have two angles of this. She wanted to get ahead of it, or she wanted the attention that came with it. But regardless, it is just very ironic that a guy with fucking 4 baby mamas is one of the most powerful figures in American conservatism right now. And the other problem I have with this kind of shit too, and listen, I was saying it in my chat earlier, I make some last stream I got called a rape apologist, okay? My reputation amongst the women community is not the greatest, but I'm going to say something here that reaffirms that yes, I am a feminist, okay? I'm going to reaffirm my feminist identity, okay? I'm still going to make jokes about hating women, but for some reason, every single one of these fucking cases, most of the blame is put on on the woman. I never know why. I never know why that is. Um, we need to start, and to some extent it already happens, but more so, we need to start turning men who churn out babies like it's a fucking factory with different women. We need to start making them into social pariahs, because fucking there's nothing worse. Well, that's not true. I'm being rhetorical. But like absentee and having an absentee father, or I'm sure he's going to, pay for the baby or whatever, but there's no way you can be a father to like that many kids without them without some sort of emotional neglect, like not being present for them, doing things that dad's supposed to do, going to their games or whatever. There's no way you can care for that many kids. And the like not and that caring for kids is not just, paying the bills or whatever. It is being present. And it seems like the blame is always like put on the women entirely, and they're called like whores for sleeping around with men they're not married to. But this guy's done this 10 fucking times. Why is there not a stigma surrounding? I mean, there's gonna be a stigma now. But we need to fucking, dude, we need to turn these men, these fucking walking baby factories need to be turned into social pariahs. It's so cringe. Real men, and not pussies, sacrifice pleasure to take responsibility for what they started, take responsibility for their kid, and bring their kid up right, and don't keep fucking so they have more kids to the extent where they can't reasonably be a father to all of them. I think he's a weird breeding fetish. That is a paraphilia. There is a paraphilia where there are guys that get off to having a bunch of kids. For some reason. I forget the name of it. Why are you acting like double standards don't exist in society? I'm not. I'm just calling it out. I'm quite literally affirming that there's a double standard. This is an affirmation. How am I saying double standards don't exist when the whole fucking rant is acknowledging a double standard? How is that saying they don't exist? That's the whole purpose of my entire dialogue I just went into, that there is a clear fucking double standard. And the double standard exists relating to men who sleep around. Women who do it are whores, but men who do it are, they fuck, dude, alpha males or whatever. And it's like, no, dude, you're a man whore. You're a fucking man whore. It's cringe. I'm so sorry, Ashley. Terrible that anyone would do this to a child. Paradox of control, I guess. Apparently she was crashing out earlier. Bro's never gotten played. Get your play, but wear a fucking condom. Wear a condom. And if for whatever reason you were stupid enough to have sex and not wear a condom, and now you have a baby, that's your kid now. Stop having more until you can be present and available for the first. Take responsibility for what you started. Do you think she did it for the money or did she love him? I don't know. She's a conservative, fucking right-wing influencer. I don't really know. I'm not gonna... I have absolutely no idea. She could have loved him. She could have been like, oh, richest guy in the world. I'm a fuck. Yeah, so she could have been in it for the money. It could have been either. I don't know. I really do not know. But at the end of the day, I'm not taking the blame off him, but it's like, why would you the baby's 5 months now or whatever? So this was within the last year. This she got pregnant within like the last year. So it's like this at this point he's already had his 10 kids and it's been public, right? So why would you go and fuck a guy Why would you fuck a guy who is like that irresponsible? Do you think your hands can get an STD? No, but your eyes can. You can get if you let someone ejaculate on your face, you can get eyeball gonorrhea. I'm not kidding. It's real. You can look it up. Very disgusting. Very, very disgusting. Of course you know about that. Okay, just because I know about something doesn't mean I know about it from experience. I'm a father to one child, and he was off to college at 16 for electrical engineering. Elon's son now wears a dress. Maybe he should have spent more time being a dad to all those children. Just my 2 cents. Your dad's off, or your son is off to college at 16? That's crazy. Did he skip a grade? Or do you live in like fucking England or some shit? No, that's based as shit. Listen, listen. And by the way, people like to mock trade jobs. If you live in the US, I don't know how it is in other countries, your son is doing the W strat because everybody and their mom goes to college and pays the absurd amount of money to get the same humanities degree in like the same 5 fucking majors that everyone else is getting. And the pay isn't even that good. Trade jobs are where the money is at. So your son is making good choices. I wish him the best of luck. I wanted to be a fucking, I told you this before, my dream was to be a truck driver. My parents laughed at me. A truck driver? A truck driver? Oh. I should just do it, dude. I should just go and do it. Fuck them. '18 and almost done his sophomore year. He's much brighter than me. That's the way it should be. Sign of a good parent are parents when their kid is smarter than them, they're proud of it. I saw this post on Reddit from this like insane woman who was like jealous that her kid was smarter than her. It's like if your kid is fucking smarter than you, you still have the benefit of wisdom because you have more lived experience. So you can use that. I mean, you're still useful. You can use that to help them. But to be jealous, like that's like a fucking narcissist. All right. I used to make 250 a day as a plumber. Damn. Based. Although I would not be able to, I do not enjoy the smell of shit. I don't think anyone does. So probably not the best job. So I have a question about this image. Okay. So I alluded a few streams ago to the fact that there was potentially another big commentator that I knew of that wore a dress. Okay. Now, this is a fake thumbnail, and I'm pretty sure the image itself is fake. But somebody came to me a few weeks ago, and I made an illusion. Everybody thought it was lyrics. I was told there was a picture out there somewhere of Queeman wearing cat ears. That's what I was told. Okay, somebody told me there was a real image that they saw like years ago, of Queeman wearing cat ears, and I'm like, good one, buddy. But I alluded to it on stream, and now everyone's posting
AIDS
this.
gang represent, okay?
So
it should be every parent's dream to be overshadowed by their children.
That's true. That's fucking true. I don't want my son to be a fucking streamer. My son? I could have a daughter. My daughter or son. I don't think this image is real, but I was told there was a real image out there. I need the context of this, dude. Because apparently this has been public for a while. So I don't know. This thumbnail's crazy. I mean, you think? You think? Does anybody know about this? I'm just gonna ask him. Did you wear a maid dress? Alright. I asked him. Aiden, is it true you have two dads? Yes. How'd you know? This is one of them. Isn't he beautiful? Overused gawk joke? True, true. The gawk jokes, listen, the same joke gets old after a while, okay? The same joke gets pretty old after a fucking while. Hey guys, did you know I kind of look like Brittany Simon? Did you guys know that? See, but if you complain about the overused jokes that are about you, it's gonna look like you're mad, so they're gonna keep going. So I'll complain about the jokes about other people that are overused. I just don't like overused jokes. All right, what is happening on Reddit? Let's see my subreddit first. We do have a Reddit. All right, random gaming clip. This picture. All right, there's never. What is this?
In your experience, any actual overlap between like the anime lolly?
This is from 11 days ago. I don't care. Jay Slammer. Yeah? Is that what Kai called it? All right. Okay, I'm too tired, dude. I'm too unhinged. This guy's botting, by the way. He has 845 members, but there are only 10 online. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Why are you looking at TF? I looked at it for anything you. This is not my Reddit account, so anything up here is shit I've looked at on stream. This is my stream browser. Is this guy okay? No, I'm not okay. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Dude, why do Lyrics' fans make like the weirdest art of him? It's so bizarre. No, actually, I'm gonna take that back. At least that one's like the most normal one I've seen. Lyrics' fans, more specifically Femias, they have this like projected AGP Is there a name for a fetish where it is like you're not AGP, but you're like attracted to the idea of making somebody else transition? Because Lyrics' fans like have that for him. Stardust is retiring. Star Dirt quits her main channel. Rebrand in the works. What is the point of even posting this? All right. So yeah, Too Mad died a year ago from the other day. What day are we in? It's the 15th. Okay, so he died a year ago from 2 days ago. As you all know, I've said it before, I was good acquaintances with the man for a while. We had a falling out when I acted as like the go-between between him and his like accuser, and he blocked me. I didn't really, I never really went into it too much, I don't think. Unfortunately, because one of his like 8,000 tweets he made before he passed is just like adding me, accusing me of like hiding some info about the girl. But because of that, when I came back recently, somebody accused me of causing his death. Were his allegations not even proven that? So I spoke to him and I spoke to the girl. Okay, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember all the details. But the way our conversation to me made it sound like he knew he had gone too far with something. That was my takeaway from it. And somebody else spoke to him. He knew he had gone too far. I was like, now that's not to go off of. I'd have to reassess the allegations in their own time. So at this point, I don't know if I'm going to conclusively say anything. But at that point in time, I was convinced he had done something. And I did, I spoke to the girl, and I actually I could be wrong. I didn't get the vibe she was lying, but she could interpret something that he didn't intend. It could be either way. I'd have to go over this again someday. I mean, listen. Regardless of the girl, okay? Regardless of the girl, regardless of who I believed and who I didn't, to be honest, he was gonna probably like die anyways, without without this situation occurring. First of all, I was just a go-between. This girl came out with allegations. I spoke to her about it or whatever. For some reason, I don't even, like, I barely remember this timeline, but I didn't have any involvement in, like, what they were saying about each other. I was just, like, a weird, like, middleman for a little bit. But I did tweet out that I believed her. But anyways, I think that, in my opinion, the guy, not in my opinion, objectively, before these allegations had come forward, the guy was, like, unironically, you could ask anybody who knew him, he had been in, like, this insane downward spiral since, the months preceding that, and he was using drugs or whatever, but may the man rest in peace. It's an awkward thing. It is like a very awkward thing to see somebody on TMZ being reported as dead, and only a few months prior you had like been in the DMs like arguing with them and they blocked you or whatever. So it's like it is a strange fucking thing. Hold on. What is this? At Lyrix, I got a body pill of you. I'm jerking it tonight. And I asked if you could be my Valentine, dummy. Did he ask you from... Okay, I shouldn't talk about this over this tweet. He did. Yeah, he wanted my... He asked me to go to my parents, see if I could get him money for his legal fund or whatever. I don't even... Also, I asked if you could be my Valentine, dummy. But are you? And you say in it, he. Thanks, archives for this pic. Folks, this is the Lyrix fan base. The Larissa Nation. Lyric's wife. Very interesting stuff, folks. Very interesting stuff. Crazy things happening. Aiden, you're going to be the next to Freaky Fans. Good one. Good one, buddy. What is this? Dude, this Voidance guy made another tweet. He made a tweet about me? Dude, this Voidance guy.
Desperate times. Desperate measures. Aiden Underground offers
Is this stream?
Exclusive perks for donations. In an unprecedented move of financial desperation, young YouTuber Aiden Underground has taken crowdfunding to a
This isn't a troll, by the way. This is this guy's actual Twitter account.
whole new level. On the most latest stream, he states, Danu, and I will suck your dick.
There's no okay, so this guy's actually autistic, and he like reports on like he's like the commentary reaper, dude. He like makes like it's so he makes like unironic like I can't tell if this is like an elaborate bit or not, but like I've heard he sounds like an actual schizo. As always, you can like, sub, dono, and I will suck your dick. Listen, AI is getting like crazy good. Okay, AI is getting crazy good. The stuff they're able to make, that almost sounds like it's something I could have really said.
Literary critics and linguists alike are scrambling to decode the message, while fans debate whether this is a brilliant marketing stunt or a cry for help.
Cry for help?
I respect the hustle, said one supporter. but I was kinda hoping for a signed copy instead. Either way,
A signed copy of what? My severed dick? A signed copy of what?
one thing is clear, he's committed to customer satisfaction.
This will be my legacy. I'm gonna end up like Too Mad playing Hoi Fort for like 48 hours on Discord. I'm gonna end up like Too Mad, and this is just gonna be my whole legacy. But that was AI. But the offer still stands. Dude, this guy, I love this guy. Dude, this guy's so great. Just got here. This isn't me. Anyone believing that is a low IQ reach? Okay, that is what you would want us to believe. Okay, nobody's calling him Purple Pastry Gaming, okay? What is with the rebrand? Never rebrand, like, when you're starting to get traction. That's, like, the worst time to fucking change your name. When, like, people are starting to notice. Your viewership's going up, whatever. Like, now you're gonna change your whole name? If you really are, like, worried about the branding, because it's Pepsi or whatever, just like wait until you get an established fan base and then change your name. Maybe. Or maybe that's even worse. I'd have to think about that one. But he's Purple Pepsi to me. He's Purple Pepsi to me. Purple Pastry is way better? Okay. Void doesn't even sound like me at all. Well, this isn't his real voice. Always. Well, that's my voice. An AI.
Literary critics and linguists.
Yeah, do you think that's his real voice? Void is a cuck. What? Purple Penis Gaming? So true. Discord's strangest doxing method?
Someone has found out a way to determine your general location by just sending you a friend request or an emoji on Discord, and I'm going to explain how it works, how to avoid it, and whether or not you should be worried. Now, I'm taking a look at this article by HackermonDev, which talks about a unique zero-click de-anonymization attack targeting Signal, Discord, and hundreds of platforms. And yes, it did take me 2 minutes to figure out how to pronounce that word. I'm illiterate. Now, I have this article linked in the description, but I'm going to explain it in ways that I will understand in a year when I turn into an inevitable boomer. So you don't have to be a tech nerd to understand what's going on. But basically, when you're on Discord and you send an image, if you open up the image in your browser,
I was thinking about doing... I always have video ideas. I never go through with them. But about doing a video about the facial recognition software where you could put in a photo of somebody's face and it will like go through all of social media to find everywhere their face has been posted. And I was like, I faced a dilemma, like, it's bad, but do we talk about it being bad and teach more people how to use it? Because, I mean, inevitably you're just going to have people that use it for the wrong reasons. But this was like a software that not even Google wanted to develop because it was like completely fucked. And now some Polish company got together and made it public access. And I could just see so many like uses of this by private individuals for like horrible things. Imagine if you're like a victim of stalking or domestic violence and there are orders to protect your privacy, like a name change that doesn't go in the court records or whatever. Now your abuser doesn't even need to find your name to track you. He could just put in your stalker or whatever. He can just put in photos of your face.
but notice that it's from a cdn.discordapp.com link. Now, if I open up my console, in my image here, it has certain things like CF cache status and CF ray. Now this...
All right, boring. Boring. I'm doing it again, guys. We click on a video, we start it for 3 seconds, and we decide it's boring. But cope, sieve, mauled. I did not know that existed. I'm freaked. Well, it exists. I don't know if I'm going to send you to it, but there are ways you can get yourself removed from it, especially if you live in Europe. Especially if you live in Europe. Europe has the what? The GDRP or whatever it's called, and it is like super fucking cool. You guys have like a right to privacy, the right to be forgotten, a right to, I mean, Europe's digital privacy laws are like insanely based. And California is on its way to being Europe in that sense, because California, I think, is the best digital privacy laws in the United States. I mean, they'll even, like, for example, the cops use a software called Clearview AI, where they track your face. It's the same software you can, like, publicly access, but theirs is a bit better. And if you live in California, you can opt out of it. Or, yeah, the GDPR, sorry. The GDPR. My bad. I've got a great idea, do music streams. No, because I do music streams and people donate like unironic songs. And I have to sit here listening to like, I cut myself and I want to die. And it's like, I'd have to listen to that for like fucking 10 minutes. And I just have to sit there and like not say anything. It's like, what do I say? Dude, this is really deep. Mariachi music stream, good one. This is an hour long. I hear about this guy all the time, so I guess we could check this out. But forewarning, if it's boring, I'm gonna click off. I've already covered the SNL drama, the SML drama, dude. I suggested a great video. What'd you suggest? Let's look. I'm not clicking on that. Okay, thank you. Appreciate the recommendation. Lyrics is blowing up on that channel. Holy fuck. Damn. Damn. Oh my god. Lyrics, do it. And then just let me take over your commentary audience. Great exchange.
Interesting.
The fuck was that?
But you don't listen to Rudyard. For my entire life, I've never been Rudyard. I've always been a prophet, a celebrity, a leader, the worst thing in the leftist caste system, a statistic for the court system, my mom's Twitter slave. For the entire thing, no one's rated me as Rudyard, and I really, really want you to speak to me as Rudyard, not as a messenger of the god.
DMs real quick, bro. This is so crazy. You better DM me on Discord. Okay, I'm not pulling that up. Thank you. Thank you, Laurent. Can I pull that up? I mean, it is censored. Can I even pull that up? That's such an insane thing to wear. What the fuck? Am I allowed to pull that up? I mean, she's covered? It's like censored. Okay, can I pull it up? This is what Kanye's wife wore to the, it's censored, but this is what she wore to some event. There you have it. Interesting stylistic choice. Very interesting stylistic choice.
So is that clear? So we're gonna start now. I am not a god, I am a wizard. Odin tells me I killed a god. I stand so that men won't be cattle. So thank you for your service, Odin, and it's an honor to serve. I state, before the Lord God, and Hermes that I now have sealed the contract
TOS, she's not nude. It's covered.
in the Blue Room.
I'm not deleting VOD, she's covered.
And I'm protected by the spirit world.
You cannot see any genitalia. What is TOS about that? What is TOS about that?
AIDS gang represent, okay?
Bobby B, strap in the fuck in, Aiden. Alright, I'm ready.
I have set you free. You no longer need a master, and you are a free man. You enjoy squirming, don't you, because you know you're such a worthless loser. You don't get it. You can't understand. You cannot understand what I've just lived through. You just can't. I don't know what to tell you. It's
I've only heard some of what this guy's had to say, and I kind of relate.
infuriating. Prove me wrong why I just didn't kill your god. Ayahuasca basically fried my brain.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? You alright? Today we'll be looking at a very successful YouTuber whose channel has gone from strength to strength for many years.
But this guy sounds way too, like, friendly to be doing, like, lolcow video essays. This sounds like the type of guy to, like... This sounds like the type of guy in, like, some old-timey tavern to invite you in after a long day, hard work, you know, plowing in the fields. Offer you to sit down for a pint. This guy sounds way too nice to be doing this.
Then took an incredibly unexpected turn, which is what we'll be mostly focusing on today. This story is going to get extremely dark.
Like, sounds like a fucking Harry Potter character, dude.
Disturbing, funny, confusing, and just downright odd. So
He
buckle
sounds normal. Okay, are you British?
up your seatbelts as we're in for a wild ride. Let's start our story with the birth of his YouTube channel.
I do like this editing, though, a lot.
Rudyard William Lynch set up his YouTube channel on the 16th of September 2013 when he was just 13 years old, under the name What If Autist. Most of his early videos
I've seen a tweet from this guy before. Like, forever ago.
have now been removed, with the first one still uploaded, currently being What If Dinosaurs Never Went Extinct. This is a short video speculating on what would have happened if the dinosaurs were still around. This video sets the stage for his channel as it is poorly edited, with many of the sentences
Dude, I really like this editing.
being cut off before they end, and the overall production quality being pretty low, but the viewer is left with the sense that Rudyard is an intelligent child with a lot of potential. As he grew older, his videos slightly improved, but the bad production quality seems to be more of a
Okay, now I don't like the editing.
feature than a bug, adding to the
There's too much going on in the background, takes away from this. Like, if you had a vignette kind of close in on it.
authentic feeling of a low-budget one-man show
There's
where the
way too much
ideas are
going on
more
in the
important
background.
than flashy visual stimulation. Rudyard's YouTube genre of choice was alternative history,
Tape perks, look away.
theorizing on what the world would look like if France never surrendered in the Second World War, or how history would have played out if nuclear bombs never existed. These videos were both
Aiden, why do you want me to count down from 10 so bad?
interesting thought
If we hit goal, I'll count down from 10.
experiments and informative, as Rudyard was obviously a keen student of history, breaking down the social, economic, cultural and military factors at play that led him to his conclusions. This intoxicating elixir was all washed down with his authentic style of editing, text walls and maps that he had made. He really likes making maps. His channel grew more and more over the years, and by
So he's autistic.
2019 he had 50,000 subscribers. This kind of content would be the What If Autist's only gimmick for 7 years, until he took a break from YouTube to hike the Appalachian Trail, which seems to have been a turning point for Rudyard, who now wanted to share
Torah reading stream when, Aiden? We would be here for like 2 weeks, right?
more of his ideas with the world. On the 14th of August 2020, he would upload his first video that was not about alternative history, titled Why is the World Crazy Now?, which was a geopolitical analysis on the current state of the world. This proved to be popular, so he began to move away from the alt history and concentrate more
I don't see what's the problem. I mean, what could go wrong with this guy? He seems like actually pretty relatable.
on
A
politics
history autist, he likes making maps.
and social commentary, which in turn grew his channel bigger than ever before. His videos were now talking about China,
Abhorrent voice. I usually like your streams, but I have to leave. Cannot stomach this. This guy has a very soothing voice. What are you talking about? What are you smoking? This is like the most like soothing voice I've ever listened to. Like this guy like could read audiobooks. What are you smoking? Abhorrent voice?
being the next superpower, or the 12 lies about reality that we are told and never question. Rudyard had outgrown the alternative history genre, as he puts it, and these new videos had a deeper meaning for him. But he did offer his fans to make another alt history video if his fan base crowdfunded him $4,000 to make it. As far as I can tell, his fans never paid him $4,000 to make a YouTube video. One thing that became more noticeable is that Rudyard started to make bold predictions, almost as if he had some kind of insight into the future. This is called...
How old is he now, by the way? How old is he now? Because if he was 13 when he started and his first video was 10 years ago, what would he be now? Like 23? Based on the clips we saw at the beginning, I'm venturing to guess sudden onset schizophrenia.
Foreshadowing. Another thing that became noticeable.
That shit is scary as fuck, though, because, like, you could... I mean, normally there's some signs beforehand, but, like, you could just in your early 20s... you could just become schizophrenic, and it can be exacerbated by using like a psychedelic, like ayahuasca or something. I've told you guys about this. I have a friend, an old friend of mine, that has now gone completely schizophrenic, and he just posts insane shit to his Instagram stories about like he fighting demons on like the fucking ethereal realm or whatever. It's bizarre on how like the demons were fighting him.
Was that a lot of his videos were filled with doom. Titles such as "Are we on the verge of nuclear war?" or "Is the dollar doomed?" were well suited to the algorithm's race to the bottom of the viewer's brainstem, and his channel started to rapidly gain more
What are the signs? Well, schizophrenia, okay. And then there's some people that, like, if you have, like, OCD or anxiety, there's some people that have OCD or anxiety about the prospect of developing schizophrenia. But, I mean, typically there's, like, a family history and some other, like, signs of mental illness beforehand. But with schizophrenia, you have negative symptoms and positive symptoms. Negative symptoms are things you don't have, like emotional affect at appropriate times, and positive symptoms are like things that you have as a result of schizophrenia, like hallucinations, inappropriate or fucking bizarre affect,
subscribers, hitting a
paranoia. And typically medication, it can treat the positive symptoms like the hallucinations, but it can't treat the negative symptoms.
100,000
if I remember that correctly.
In late 2020 and 400,000 in mid-2021. Rudyard was flying high, so now had a large and loyal fan base that hung on his...
If I get any of this wrong, psychologists in the chat, please let me know.
Every word. His mainly young male viewers flooded his comments section with positive feedback, which encouraged the still young Rudyard to grip his own intellect by...
Dude, dope as... I'm gonna start dressing like this. You guys say I wear 5 shirts. I need to get myself an outfit like this.
By the shaft and frantically massage his own ego until hot, sticky ideas shot out of his brain and into his videos, which they lapped up and begged for more. Dirty little viewers, you like that, don't you? Rudyard's your daddy now. But not...
What the fuck was that? What was that? That was totally out of... That was like... What was the point of putting that in there?
Hot, sticky ideas shot out of his brain and into his videos, which they lapped up and begged for more. Dirty little viewers, you like that, don't you? Rudyard's your daddy now. But not every...
This guy had like a picture of like a hot woman up on his second monitor while making this, bro.
Everyone was a fan of What If.
I was not expecting that.
Fortist. He had come out as firmly on the right of politics, and the left were not his biggest fans. And now that he was seen as somewhat of a thought leader on the right, a debate was set up between him and well-known horse enthusiast Vaush. This debate was pretty uneventful, with the pair just mostly talking past each other in an effort to impress their own audiences.
You know, for a person who claims to be an intellectual, you sure do like going on like bumper sticker tangents.
Is there a marshmallow coming out of Vaush's ear? What is
tried under a Marxist Trotskyite?
What the fuck is that?
Version. There's third world.
Am I stupid? Am I tired? Is this like a earbud or something? I think that looks like a marshmallow.
Socialism, which took over.
So, wait, I have to ask sincerely.
In socialism in India.
Given
he has steam come out of his ears, so that's how he roasts his marshmallows. He's got a graham cracker and chocolate in front of the desk, so as soon as it's done, when he gets really mad and the steam comes flying out, his face turns really red and the marshmallow's all cooked, put it in between that shit, get a s'more.
We have so little...
I see what he's doing.
Little time to talk. Is there a reason...
That is not his chair. This is not his chair.
Why you're filibustering?
That's a marshmallow.
Reading Marx and then reading this text.
That is a marshmallow.
Treating it as a Bible.
Rudyard had started to make videos talking about different civilizations from around the world.
No, that seems reasonable. My problem with Marxists is they treat Marx like a Bible. The communists, they're like, that's revisionist. That's revisionist. Yeah, because Marx couldn't account for everything in his time, so sometimes we revise.
Which would get him in hot water in 2000.
It's good to be eclectic, borrow the good ideas from different people without like following everything they said to a T. This is the problem with like your fucking Marxists. It's like what Marx said is like the gospel.
2022 when he uploaded one called Understanding Southeast Asian Civilization. This video was taken down by YouTube in what is suspected to be a mass flagging attack by Southeast.
Marx said some good things. Marx said some good things. He also said some really vague things that we shouldn't like interpret into practice, or Marx said a lot of things, and some things were very spot on. Some things he thought he was cooking, but not so much.
Asian nationalists, in response to statements he made in the video about tropical climates having an impact on intellectual outputs. The video was later re-uploaded by him and is still up at the time of recording this video. His channel is now starting to move to more
his criticisms of capitalism, feudalism, spot on. But even though you can criticize capitalism, what do you do then? And he talks about what you do then, but when it's been interpreted into reality, it's never been able to compete. Capitalism seems to be the best economic system we have at the moment.
Abstract.
Amazing reaction. What do you want me to say?
Topics. Things like people having psychic abilities and using magic with titles like
He cooked with detachment from labor and Das Kapital. Dude, just read the Spark Notes of that shit. Don't read I heard it's boring as shit. I read the Spark Notes. Do you mean alienation? Alienation from one's labor. Alienation from one's essence of species, like the 4 alienations or whatever.
The CIA discover the spirit world, or explaining ancient forbidden teachings. Again, this is called foreshadowing, something of a recurring theme were his predictions. He would make many of these with varying degrees of success. Y'all know I make these predictions and I'm still...
ADHD brain can't read books? No, it's just I can't read books that are like super dry and boring. And unfortunately, most books about politics, economics, whatever, are really fucking dry and boring. This is why I laugh, because like I tried to get it. Listen, this is why I laugh when I see like the fucking like Nazis on Twitter like praising Mein Kampf. It's like, this book was incredible, ahead of its time. You try to read it and it's just like, I'm not even going to criticize what he said in the book. I'm going to criticize how boring it was. It's just so same thing with the fucking Communist Manifesto. They're just both so boring. And this is why syphilis is a really bad disease. Let me talk about that for 11 pages. And it's like, this guy's spitting. This guy really might be onto something.
Shocked when they happen, lol. In late 2020, early 2021, I predicted 1. A Russian invasion of Ukraine. 2. China turning Maoist and preparing to invade Taiwan. 3. The US moving to civil war, thus destabilizing the rest of the world.
I gotta get locked in. I'm not focused. ADH Aiden did. Sorry. ADH. No, that doesn't work. Aiden DHD. Dude, new streamer name? You know, I make all these predictions, I'm still shocked. A Russian invasion of Ukraine. He predicted that? China turning... I think a lot of people predicted that. Like, that's not like a super... What would be crazier is, like, if you predicted when that was gonna happen, but I knew a guy who actually... This comrade guy, I was telling you, he fought in Rojava or whatever. He predicted that. But it's not hard when, like, you know, Russia had... territorial interest in Ukraine and had fucking annexed Crimea or whatever.
4. The rise of far-right sentiment in the West. 5. A series...
Like, these are all, like, very... Like, these are all... If he did actually predict these things, these are all, like, easy predictions. It's like when people get scammed on the phone by people who, like, know personal details about them, but they're just guessing. It's like a social engineering scam. They're just guessing something that's like very vague, or like it's the thing psychics do. How would you know that? They're like guessing things that are like have a high probability of being true. But all of these things are not like crazy predictions. Anyone could see China's had interest in invading Taiwan. China's like, there's been a conflict since the founding of the fucking People's Republic of China and the exile of the Republic government to Taiwan. There's always been predictions that there was going to be a war between the two and an invasion. China reverting to Maoism, that's a super fucking... First of all, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. That's not a true prediction. But that wouldn't be like an insane prediction. The Russian thing, not an insane prediction. A series of coups in Africa. Wow, spot on. There's a fucking coup or civil war in Africa. Like every single fucking month, dude. I predicted that there would be a war in Africa. Really? Huh? Really? You did? A series of a series of minor wars in the Middle East. Dude, these are like predictions like a 5th grader could make.
Of coups
if you just make a bunch of like basic predictions, you're probably gonna get it right.
in Africa.
There's nothing impressive about it. Social justice spiraling into madness. Fucking conservative Reagan boomers were saying that in the 80s.
6. A series of minor wars in the Middle East. 7. A war in the Middle East sparking an international conflict. 8. Social justice.
I predicted, yeah, exactly. I predict a new cartel will rise in Latin America. I predict a political figure will be murdered in Africa. These are all very like easy things to get right, and some of these aren't even fucking correct.
Spiraling into madness over
AIDS
a
gang
few
represent,
years.
okay?
9.
I think this guy might be onto something.
True. There's going to be a war in the Middle East.
Global international recession driving common people everywhere into poverty. Don't you
Yeah, it's Nostradamus.
dare say that these were all
Yeah, I suspect that glaciers will melt.
easy to predict. I got so
I
much
suspect that an animal species will go extinct.
for saying this at the time, and people called me a madman. Again,
Who gave him shit for saying this?
this is called foreshadowing. I got stuff wrong, but also stuff right. I always wanted to be wrong, since my pride isn't worth the lives
It's literally the Tommy C effect. You are suspicious of so many people that inevitably when like some of those people turn out to be bad, you could be like, Tommy was spot on. Right. Albeit his criticisms of those people, even though he's paranoid of everybody, was spot on, but he had criticisms of other people that just didn't land. But these are just very basic fucking predictions, and he probably predicts a lot of things.
millions, but now I kind of stand in horror. I'm not sure that it takes Nostradamus to predict wars in the Middle East and coups in Africa,
exactly.
if I'm honest. But a big part of his predictions was that a civil war would break out in the USA by April 2025. He would talk about this a lot and soon was invited onto many podcasts to explain his theory.
If there's an actual civil war, is that out of the realm of possibility? I mean, it's very unlikely, even though we are divided. It's very unlikely. But like, if it you just can make predictions about everything, and there's a possibility these things will happen.
You're saying, how do you think?
But it's not. Unless, listen, I'll say this: if the Civil War starts specifically in April, the world collectively owes this guy an apology. If he gets like the month dead on, fuck it, dude.
A civil war or a breakdown of the United States would begin? You have a theory as to that?
Yes. I have multiple.
Now, real quick, sorry. So I just want to make sure I'm clear here. Following the election, you have already said you think there will be 1,000 deaths, politically motivated deaths by April.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And either this will be the effect of or the beginning of what may be.
With 1,000 politically motivated deaths, with a vague statement like that, you know what he could do? He could do what they do with the fucking Clintons. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of the possibility that the Clintons have had people killed or whatever, but like, they'll take the Clintons know so many people, thousands of people that they've interacted with, that's just politics. They have associations with, etc. If anybody dies under like suspicious circumstances, a car accident, a suicide, a drowning, whatever, people could be like, oh, this was the Clintons' cousin's assistant chef at his new employer. He doesn't work for the cousin anymore, but the assistant chef of the cousin's friend. And he got in a car accident while driving with a fucking 0.3 blood alcohol level. Suspicious? Hashtag Clinton body count? So if he makes it this vague, he could just start pulling like random deaths and say the Trump regime got another one, and it's like Trump's old maid from like 1989, her cousin's brother's nephew's friend's goldfish's previous owner had a stroke.
A collapse or break.
They must have slipped warfarin into his drink.
Breakdown.
I think it'll be a war. I think you'll still probably get your groceries. You'll still be able to watch Netflix. Keep in mind,
very autistic.
In Syria or Ukraine, the horrible thing is you'll still have to go to your job. You'll still have to pay your bills. You'll still watch Netflix with the kids. It's just Chicago's being shelled.
We still have a few months to go, so keep your eyes peeled for that one, I guess. Another prediction is that there will one day be an incel civil war.
I've been betting my money for years that America will have a crisis at some point.
An incel civil war. I will be the fucking General Patton of I'll be the General Eisenhower, commander of the incel forces. Dude, bring it on. Exacerbate the incel civil war. Let us fuck. Gooners unite. Incel civil war, dude. It's coming. It's coming.
In the future. I've said in previous videos that for a bunch of reasons, which I explain in this text wall, that the right would win a civil war. That being said, you've suddenly armed a group of
I think if a civil war to occur right now in America, I think the right would probably win. Actually, that's not true. I think the left may get more foreign support if there was actually a civil war in America. I think the left would probably get... Europe would either be isolation, but this is like an easy prediction. They'd either be isolationist, or I think they would help the like liberal faction of the civil war. I guess it depends on who starts it.
Frustrated, resentful young men. They'll probably view...
But yeah, I think the right would probably win a civil war.
Women as a leftist enemy, and thus feel no remorse for being brutal. There is no...
I could be totally off on that, though.
Unifying ideology on the right, which means it will be exceptionally difficult to maintain a strong ruling government, which will probably devolve into various warlords using effectively sex as a chip to keep their young men following them.
In this video, he makes sure to let everyone know that he is not an incel and in fact is a pretty cool guy.
A lot of people think I'm some nerd dwelling in my parents' basement, but this channel is actually a pretty complex business that I...
Bro, I've taken a photo in that exact same spot.
...make decent money off, where this is my full-time job.
Not really, but it's the same backdrop.
I have a team which works for...
Yo, can we land a Titan on the Maze Bank?
...for me. I live in my own house. I make over 6 figures a year.
I think the right would win purely by citizen gun ownership, but liberals would probably capture major cities. Yeah, but then you also have to think of like war logistics and like what military bases are located in which states and what kind of production occurs within these states. And you have a state like California that like California, New York already, like a significant portion of the country's GDP, and even in California, agriculture, there would be a heavy blow to the right faction to not have that. Not to say that there won't be a fuck ton of agricultural production in red states, but you still have like pretty major industry, and also your most impoverished states typically are like Mississippi, Louisiana, are mostly red states, right?
I drive an Audi, and I'm 6'4" tall. I have a large social network, have founded 8 different social clubs, including one for professional influencers at one point. I'm pretty satisfied.
Can liberals even use guns? Go to Vermont, bro. Vermont is my paradise. Vermont is just liberals. It's literally just like, their politics are like, we want Bussy and Gawk and AR-15s. That's Vermont in a nutshell. We want Bussy, Gawk, and AR-15s.
With my romantic options right now, and I'm just not an incel. Again, I apologize.
Large parts of California... I'm sorry, I'll stop pausing every 2 seconds. Large parts of California are conservative, just as big cities in red states are mostly blue. I mean, yeah, but your conservative places in California, has anybody considered that they suck ass? It's like fucking Sandy Shores, bro. It's literally like Sandy Shores. It's the fucking desert. Crazy people. It's hot as shit. Unless you go like... I mean, Yeah, have you ever considered, like, the red parts of California suck?
Apologize for the
And I don't think that has anything to do with them being right-leaning, by the way. I love the state of Florida, even though it's a right-leaning state.
egregious bragging, but if I don't do this, this video will just devolve into people calling me a loser without a real argument.
Some other things of note before we move on to the main event are that he set up another YouTube.
New Hampshire is what you're talking about. Vermont has a lot of red flag gun law. Vermont might have red flag gun laws, but there is high gun ownership in Vermont. Wait, you realize red flag laws don't contribute to, like, I'm pretty sure they don't significantly contribute to, like, overall gun ownership. Yeah, almost half of Vermont has guns.
YouTube channel called History 102, where he spends an hour talking about a stage in history. He started a collaboration with another alternative history YouTuber called the Alternative History League, but sadly they only made one episode. He claims to have a photographic memory and can draw any country at any time in history off the top of his head. He dropped out of college at the age of 19 because he was already running a successful business, which I guess is his YouTube channel. He didn't get good grades at school and claims to have a lower than average IQ. He claims to have read over 900 books, and he claims to run a geopolitical consulting firm. I'm not too sure what this is, but I've seen people speculate that this is in fact him charging small YouTubers to do interviews with them, and I guess he gives them advice. Rudyard was now doing very well for himself and had over 700,000 subscribers, but it was starting to become clear that he was sniffing his farts a little too much, and his ego was starting.
A civil war is just for people who hate everyone that isn't them, no matter the political side.
True. Unless, like, there was a state that popped up tomorrow. Unless fucking Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, and Colorado got together to create, like, the Rape Federation because they dislike the U.S. government's prosecution of rapists and they just want to be able to rape. Then I think a civil war would be a good idea. Then a civil war might be a good idea.
To get the best of him. This wasn't helped when he released his Manifesto for the Right, which he thought would be a blueprint for the right-wing world moving forward. Now this all seems kind of interesting, but nothing too crazy, and I bet you're asking yourself, Mr. Interesting Stuff from Around the World, why are you making a video about this? He has let social media clout go to his head a little, but no big deal. Well, dear viewer, this story is about to take a very sharp and unexpected turn.
Oh no.
Rudyard had been expanding his mind using substances such as ayahuasca and was starting to see the
Yeah, we've talked about this on a previous stream. How, like, I don't know if he's diagnosed schizophrenia, but how, like, these for some people who are predisposed, psychedelics can contribute to, like, the onset of acute schizophrenia.
Very differently to most people. His more mystical thinking had been a noticeable shift in his content going back to 2021 when he put out a video titled A History of 10 Monsters. This was clearly something that he was being drawn to and he wasn't shy about sharing it with his viewers. In a tweet from the 3rd of December 2024, he would encourage his audience to read Jewish history to gain their mind control magic. Why don't you study the methods the Jews used to take control of the media, finance, and lobbying, and then do it yourself to become rich and famous? That's what I'm doing now by reading 5,000 pages or something on Jewish history.
Okay, okay, nobody get mad at me for pausing. Okay, I'm not gonna play somebody else's video. I'm gonna talk when I have something to say. To be fair to this guy, there's nothing wrong with that statement. There's nothing wrong with that statement. A big problem I tend to have. Listen, if they put me in charge of, like, the Jewish PR team, anti-Semitism would be non-existent, because you have this problem when it's, like, very obvious that Jews are disproportionately in media, finance, and lobbying, and then you just tell people, oh, it's not happening, or don't point that out. No, point that out, but let's explain why. Let's explain about generational, like, financial knowledge passed down from, like, isolation in Europe. Let's talk about how Jews were exiled from the film industry in New Jersey, so they went out and started a film industry in California, which became the Hollywood we know today and outdid the film industry. Let's talk about, we could talk about these things, and there are reasons for all of them. And it's like, people should learn from that. so that they can like become like financially literate, and do very well. Learn from like demographic groups like Asians and Indians, and like subsidize your children's education. So we can acknowledge these things and then try and learn from that. It is the premise of like saying this obvious thing that everybody notices is not true and is anti-Semitic to point out is going to create more anti-Semitism. That's not how you combat this. You acknowledge that this is absolutely true. There are disproportionately Jews in the media. There are disproportionately Jews in finance. There are disproportionately Jews in lobbying. But you can clearly explain why. There's a reason for all of these things.
If it's mind control, then get better at fucking mind control. My top moral axis.
So yeah, he's not saying it's mind control. He's like mocking their perspective that this is mind control. I think there's nothing unreasonable about what he's saying here at all. There's nothing unreasonable about what he's saying.
Is winning. Look, I know some Kabbalah. I have some books on the topic. I gotta figure
I think he's just being like facetious.
Out the Jewish mind control magic myself. He had also been reading books by author Julius Evola. I'm far from an expert on Evola, but I do know some stuff about his world.
This is not gonna end well. I agreed with what he was saying. I thought he was being facetious, but he's reading fucking Evola or whatever it did. Oh no.
View. He is a right-wing thinker who believes in orientating
a bit more than right-wing, buddy. A bit more than right-wing.
Your civilization upwards to something like a divinely appointed king, and thinks that the downfall of the West has come when we orientated our civilization downwards to the common man using democracy. He also draws heavily from Eastern and Western mysticism, which is something that seems to have had a profound effect on Rudyard, and he started to fall down the alchemy rabbit hole. My alchemy rabbit hole over the last year has been awesome. Expect like 10 videos soon. What if Autist had been uploading videos regularly for a long time, but all of a sudden this stopped, and for a few months his channel was a barren wasteland. Rudyard wasn't taking a break though. He had been feverishly working away in the background on a project that would be his magnum opus, a beautiful symphony that brings together all of his ideas into one masterpiece. On Christmas Day 2024 he released the first part of a bizarre 12-hour biographic series detailing everything about his life and his worldview. To say the least, this series goes into some unexpected things and wasn't received in the way that Rudyard was hoping. So before we get into the main event, I think it's important to remember that all of the stuff that we are about to witness has been written down in the format of a script, with Rudyard going off on tangents then coming back to the script.
From access to... Sorry, I need to reread this. I really... Oh, I need to get to this first. Sorry, I keep a script and then I periodically go on and off the script.
As far as I can tell, he also has a management team who would have seen this and approved it, which as you'll see was a very strange decision. He is also clearly intoxicated in some of the parts, but then in others is perfectly sober. But even when he is sober, he seems very erratic and jumps from one crazy topic to the next without finishing the sentence. And given some of the topics we're about to cover, it's quite hard to piece together some of it. I'll give you guys fair warning now. Things are about to get very dark, strange, funny, unexpected and sad. He starts off this series fairly innocently by giving us the background of his family.
Flight of ideas, bro. Flight of ideas. Look it up. Look it up. Schizophrenic.
Everything in the story is 100% true. You have my word before God, my ancestors, and myself that it's all true. That will also make sense at the end.
Rudyard's family sound like an interesting bunch. Let's start with his father. Rudyard claims that his father has Asperger's.
Is his name actually... I believe that, by the way, but is his name actually Rudyard? Rudyard. This looks nothing like me. First of all, he has a very tiny nose. He wears glasses. His eyes are green. He has straight hair. He has a beard. What is even slightly comparable about the two of us? What are you smoking? He's the phenotype of a lunatic. He's the phenotype of somebody that could have been like a niche historical figure had he been alive at the turn of the century. In like 1900.
And has read over 300.
He would have like started a failed coup somewhere.
100 books on banking history, making him probably the most well-read person in the world on banking history.
Alright, now that's how you know he's insane. Who the fuck would read that?
history. Between the ages of 12 and 30, his father saved 50 cents a day by eating tuna fish sandwiches every day. I'm unsure what he bought with all
I'm
of the...
pausing. I don't care. I'm pausing. I'm gonna pause every 2 seconds. I don't care. Don't criticize me for pausing, okay? Somebody the other day was like, "You're like Queeman with the dead air." No, my biggest criticism is that I pause too much. But you know what? You want to watch this video on its own? Go watch it on its own. I don't care, okay? But can we just stop pretending like fucking tuna fish is good? It smells disgusting. I'm not talking about like sashimi or like Japanese tuna, fucking canned tuna or whatever. It's disgusting. Who the fuck eats that shit? It looks disgusting. It smells disgusting. When somebody is eating it in my presence, I am just disgusted because it smells so fucking bad. It is. I mean, who enjoys this? Who unironically sits there and says, "Yeah, I like this"?
These savings, but sadly his father would get mercury poisoning from eating all of this tuna, and his father had tuna fish mercury poisoning when he impregnated Rudyard's mother.
If I made California its own country, I would take all of the Pacific shoreline exactly like Chile did, from Alaska to Cabo San Lucas. Do you think I am insane, Aiden?
Nope, I look at the map all the time. I said, why the fuck did we not annex Baja California? You and me, my friend, we think on the same wavelength. We'll take Oregon and Washington too. The Pacifica Empire. Yes, buddy. Yes, we think the same. Thank you for the money, by the way. But just so you know, yeah, tuna is a high mercury fish. But I mean, how much are you eating? I guess this is theoretically possible, but I feel like you have to eat like a fuck ton of tuna. I guess he did say he was only living off that. Because typically, like, fish that are higher up on the food chain are gonna have more mercury. Like swordfish. I like swordfish a lot, but I was told you're not supposed to eat it very often because it has a fuck ton of mercury in it. And that's another reason why we don't really eat shark that often, because it's high up on the food chain, has a bunch of mercury. But that's insane. Is he arguing that like his father ate so much tuna fish, it inevitably led to him having a birth defect or something?
Studies have shown that mercury poisoning can induce abnormalities in semen. I'll let you make your own mind up if you think this has had an effect on our buddy Rudyard.
Another example of the kind of guy my dad is that he ate tuna.
Yeah, my dad would like drink out of thermostats and shit mid-sex with my mom.
Fish every single day of his life from ages 12 to ages 30. And he did it because it was 50 cents cheaper than the other sandwich option. And he was just accruing the financial benefits of...
Okay, so you would have to eat. He said he was living off of it. The safe amount is like 9 ounces per week. But like, even then, to get full-blown, you could even probably, I'm not recommending it, you could probably push that limit if you're an adult male, okay? But, like, you would apparently have to eat several cans a day for months to get mercury poisoning. Especially to the point where it's going to be affecting your semen. I guess it is possible. Okay, it's possible if you're eating it every day. Yeah, it is possible.
50 cents a day. And then it gave him crippling mercury poisoning. And my father had crippling mercury poisoning when he inseminated me. So growing up, he would explain Marxist lies to me. I'm sorry, I love you, Dad, but you have very strong Asperger's. He would leave me at home for weeks when he was on business trips for work and expected me to take care of the house.
So let's move on to his mother's side of the family.
I believe him.
Rudyard claims that his great-grandmother was a hoe who slept with 2 men at the same time.
And there's an interesting detail here that my great-grandma...
The autistic need to overshare?
Emma was kind of a hoe.
Rudyard's mother is quite the Pandora's box to open, but let's stare into the abyss and look inside. So he claims that she refused to give birth to him in a hospital as she believes that hospitals kill the spirit of a child. She would make moonshine in the garage. She would wander around cemeteries looking for people that had died in the Revolutionary War so that she could liberate their souls to the afterlife.
Was his grandma a fucking witch? Was his grandmother a witch? His grandma was either a witch or, like, one of the earliest documented cases of a fent addict that we have on record. This is like, this is such an insane life. So there are things that have happened to me or people I know, and I say, if I said this, people would think I'm lying. This takes it to the next level, dude. I don't believe him, obviously, but like, she turned my brother into a toad.
Afterlife. She is schizophrenic and he thinks that the CIA did experiments on her as part of the MK Ultra
It's possible.
program.
I have suspicions my mom was involved in the secret government testing program MK Ultra, given they sourced from places like Columbia Political Science Department at that very moment, as far as I've researched. My mom was super cynical about the ruling class before that was a big thing. She believed she was a psychic, which is another MK Ultra thing. She was
Your mother might have been a schizophrenic. It can be hereditary. Your mother might have. It actually would make sense if he is schizophrenic. It would make a lot of sense.
paranoid at the FBI following her,
And then if the great grandmother was on her side, what if everything he's saying is true, like what his mother told him or whatever, but his mom was just schizophrenic, and so is his great grandma. It's all on the same side. What if he's just telling the truth?
I also know that she was. That's too many points for my own comfort, and I'm scared to even say stuff like this on this video, but this video is going to get so much crazy. That's not even in the top 10. My mom hired security guards against this imaginary threat.
So his mum was kicked in the head by a horse and was...
That sounds like schizophrenia. She was paranoid to the point where she was hiring security guards against a threat that didn't exist. What if he's just no, dude, what if this is things that what if it Listen, there's a chances of schizophrenia if parent has it. If one parent has schizophrenia, a child has about a 10 to 15% chance of developing it.
brain dead for 2 days, but was visited by God and or the devil, who told her that she must go back to Earth to help people. Bear this in mind as...
Why do schizos never consider their brain as the issue? Because schizophrenia doesn't just affect... It's not like you're just hallucinating. Schizophrenia affects your thought process, not just what you're seeing and hearing or whatever. The way you think is affected, so it feels very real to you, and your thinking might be illogical.
As the story goes on, the horse-kicking incident seems to have been a big turning point for her already fragile mental state, and she soon divorced Rudyard's father, who I guess was too
Why
busy
is he holding a fucking sword?
eating tuna to really notice, and she took the kids. This seems to have been a very bad thing for Rudyard and would result in what sounds like a truly horrific upbringing.
My mom is a literal schizophrenic who...
In light of this information, any opinions on eugenics? Oh, I don't really want to have a strong take on this, but personally, if I had schizophrenia, I would not bring a kid into the world. I'm not going to dictate other people, because I think we go into I think if we go and start dictating who's allowed to have kids, we get into like very dangerous territory where like, okay, if you have depression, are you allowed to have a child? If you have bipolar, are you allowed to have a child? If you have whatever, are you allowed to have a child? I don't think we should mandate when other people are allowed to have kids. But for me personally, I am okay with exercising personal eugenics. So if you decide and want to take the decision, I have this thing that has a high probability of going to my kid and it makes my quality of life suck. My life is unlivable. I would choose not to have a kid.
Who has multiple inner monologues operating at once. And she would alternate between different monologues and narratives, between aggrandizing and self-loathing and other things. I would not want to be her. I feel sorry for her. I still do hate her, though.
So things are going to take a very dark turn for a short time, then we'll move on to the more...
My OCD is one of the biggest reasons I don't want to have kids, because I don't want them to suffer like me. It's a tough one. That is a tough one.
More light-hearted aspects of this story. I'm honestly not too sure what clips YouTube are going to allow me to show.
Powerful jawline, very high intelligence, very good with money, very good at eliciting donos from viewers. We're less than 2 hours in, almost halfway to goal. So if you want to oil up, help out the channel, help us hit goal. And this one's for you, Void Ace. If you help us hit goal, I will not only suck your dick, but I will fuck you in the ass. You fly me out to a hotel room, fuck it. We can get a third party involved. Go call up Gerard. Bring Gerard over to the fucking Motel 6 Holiday Inn. You donate. We can do a fucking threesome. Okay, Void Ace, are you listening? That one's for you. Okay? That one's for you, Void Ace. Bring Gerard.
So I'll explain it in the most YouTube-friendly way that I can and include whatever clips YouTube thinks is okay. It's a little hard to know where to start with this, but Rudyard's schizophrenic mother seems to have made some kind of deal with God or the devil to treat him as horribly as she possibly could, in order to make...
Wait, did I just... That is prostitute... I don't think I'm allowed to say that per TOS, because I think that's technically against the law. I think that's prostitution.
Him stronger so that one day he could grow up to be a great man. The more horribly she treated him, the greater he would grow up to be, and this is the best way for her to help human history, as he puts it. So Rudyard claims that his mother indecently assaulted him over 40 times, forced him to do indecent acts on his own sister, and forced the babysitter to do indecent acts on him. He also claims that...
Delete VOD? Okay. Don't tell me when to end stream. Don't tell me when to restart stream. Don't tell me when to end VOD. If I'm okay getting a TOS violation, I'm okay with it. It's my decision to make, okay? Like, when I pulled up, when I showed a guy's asshole on stream and everyone's like, delete VOD, delete VOD, delete VOD. I didn't really have to restart the stream. I could have just turned off rewind, waited for the stream to end, and then deleted it, okay? So don't tell me what to fucking do, okay? If I want to break TOS, I'm going to break TOS, and it's my decision to do that.
His mother would drown him.
It's so fucking gay. They're like, delete VOD, end stream, restart stream. I'll decide that for myself, okay? I'll decide that for myself.
In the bath, burn him with boiling water, beat him with a shovel, and hit him with a 1,000-page book.
His mom also dropped a piano on his head, and his teeth poked out like the little keys in the piano. She hit him over the head with a hammer, and a big bump came on his head, and like stars and like squiggly lines floated around him. His mom put up a wall painted to look like a fake landscape while he was running, and he bumped into it. And the wall had a perfect imprint of him running through.
Few memories have really stuck with me, and they required years of EMDRs to clean out. One was my mom beating me over the head with a 1,000-page book. That was her standard.
How did he remember how many
move, and she did it hundreds of times. The sound's been locked in my ears as a crack, like gunpowder. I just hear... It's so loud, and it was stuck in my ears. When I was stressed, my ears would block up with sound. So when I'd have panic attacks, I'd hear the sound crackling in my ears. And it's just, I can't overstate how horrible it is.
His mother would say that she can see into his mind and then punish bad thoughts. She would also scream at him in the shower as she owned him and his soul, plus to remind
I think he believes everything he's saying.
Him that she was in charge. She would also practice black magic and do satanic rituals, repeatedly hit his head off the bathroom floor, and indecently assault him more or less depending on the weather, with the summer being when she did this the most.
There was an experience that bordered on spiritual where my mom was smashing my head against the bathroom floor and I passed out from the suffering. I basically psychically orgasmed from how bad the pain was, feeling ecstasy in the suffering.
His mother's goal was to break him, and Rudyard claims that she used very advanced...
Like, I can believe he was abused, but like, is it... Nothing he's saying is impossible besides like the fucking souls of Revolutionary War soldiers, whatever shit. But like, this is like comically evil, and on top of everything else he said, there's a very real possibility these are just like delusions or false memories.
CIA brain...
I don't think I need to tell you that. Wow, Aiden, great insight. I know you could figure that out, but just saying it for the record. It could have happened. I'm not saying he's inherently lying, but I doubt it. Either way, it's still really sad because this guy has an issue.
Washing techniques on him in order to break his sense of reality. He also tells a pretty haunting story about how he asked his demon mommy to leave him alone and that he wanted his real mummy back. As you can imagine, all of this...
His demon mommy? Demon mama? Demon mama?
This has left him with pretty bad PTSD, and memories of this can come flooding back at any time.
I got the migraines.
when my mom made me touch my sister, and they started kicking in because I didn't want to do it. And so my body was trying to stop me.
This is just, listen, I'm not trying to, okay. I don't think this is a bad guy or some malicious liar. This is a very sick person, which makes this sad.
And then she made me do it anyway.
And this makes this just as sad as if any of this actually happened, because this is like a very sick person.
And I'm sorry. You were there too. You understood what happened. And I'm sorry. It's not my fault, but I'm still sorry. I remember screaming, please, mommy, please stop.
But also, if it did happen, why are you sharing this with the internet? You're a fucking hit. Can you imagine watching, like, you sub to this guy, you forgot to unsub, you want to, like, see, like, a cool, like, alternative history video, and you, like, click on the channel, and you're just watching this.
AIDS gang represent, okay?
Does the carpet match the drapes?
What does that mean? His carpet? What? I have a hardwood floor.
Stop. Please don't touch me, mommy. Please, please, please. I periodically still say, please don't touch me.
Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? I swear on my fucking life, I don't know what that means. I swear to you on my fucking life, I do not know what that means. Oh, they want to know how curly your pubes are, idiot. Idiot? Like, I'm supposed to know. Like, wow, you don't know this disgusting fucking innuendo? Yeah, I don't. I'm glad I don't know what that is. I swear to you on my life, may I die today if I'm lying about this, okay? I did not know what that meant. I'm fucking serious.
I sleep, and as a knee-jerk reaction, like if I'm driving and a driver does something that freaks me out, I'll say, please, please don't touch me. It's something that's just unconscious. There's this region around my crotch that even today, if you touch...
Literally everyone knows that do they? That's an idiot moment? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not a fucking godless sexual degenerate that thinks going around and whoring out my body to women gives me some sort of societal credit. I'm sorry that I don't engage in the lingo of your disgusting, cum-slinging sexual proclivities and pretend like it's normal and healthy and fine. It's disgusting. You should be ashamed of it. You're disgusting. You're a disgusting person for having sex, and for knowing these terms. You're disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'll shudder. It's a real issue for massages. The
Find God.
masseuse will just touch a part of my body, and I'll have to refrain from screaming. The last girl I was with, she was sleeping over, and then she just touched my...
It's not an aversion. When I hear or think about people having sex, I fly into a fucking rage, okay? When I hear your stupid, degenerate sexual terms, it's like rage fills my body. Nothing but pure fucking rage.
My shoulder just started shaking uncontrollably.
The devil has tempted you. He's thrown out the fish bait, and you're grabbing it and looking at me. I'm the fish behind you, and you're saying, you're not also eating this fucking worm in front of me? You're also not eating the worm? You're right, I'm not eating the fucking worm. You fucking godless, fluid flinging degenerates.
And I had to leave the room.
So in the interest of fairness, I will just point out that these are things that Rudyard claims, and as far as I know, his mum has never been charged with any crimes. Plus, with some of the things we are about to look at, it's a little hard to know what to make of these claims, as Rudyard may not be the most reliable source of information.
I have seen things I cannot even articulate to you, given they exist outside the human frame of consciousness, and yet are so clearly real. I have seen 1,000...
That makes sense.
Years pass in a single instance, and the sheer enormity of the human experience as expressed in that.
Ironic, the J saying we are godless. Aren't you literally Mexican?
Time with each individual.
I know you guys are Catholic. I know, base trad Caths.
Soul, and each individual.
You really want to make America Christian again? It's time to implement the plan of San Diego. Make California Mexican again.
life. I have seen a million suns crash together at once, creating such a level of cosmic destruction as to lead back to nothingness. I have seen the—
For the record, that was a bit. Okay, just need to clarify that for future people that's playing. That's the sexiverse thing. Okay, I'm not a serial killer. God, when I just think of fucking sex, I just want to. Okay, I can't say that's TOS.
The whole of human life concentrated into the great chain of being, and the whole of cosmic human cosmic beyond human, all the animals and gods and spirits contained within the great chain of being, stretching and powered from the lower levels of pettiness and evil to God at the top. I have seen a billion—
Definitely a bit. Schrodinger's retard. Bits don't exist. Everything you say is a reflection of a genuine position you hold. Schrodinger's retard much? I was only pretending to be retarded. I hate that I ever used the term Schrodinger's retard, because now people use it anytime somebody does a bit. Everything is Schrodinger's retard. Literally everything is Schrodinger's retard now.
Lives at once, and in which you know the individuality of the living whole in the human spirit or the mind of God feeding off the individual lives, with all of someone's life clustered into a single vial that is their consciousness.
So Rudyard then moves away from talking about his family to him having been in communion with God. Not just the Christian God though, but also the Norse god Odin, the devil and or Saturn. It's a little hard to know what's going on there, and he is also in communication with Hermes. That's quite the pantheon of friends that Rudyard has.
We're getting like the fucking god multiverse. Dude, Vishnu's gonna ride in.
So this story's gonna start going to some—
The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is going to come in on his flying donkey. He's not a god, he's a prophet. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Just to clarify.
Weird places. I'll try to describe it the best that I can, but some of it may not make sense. While talking to his viewers, Rudyard goes through periods of being possessed by Odin in some kind of way. This seems to change from the divine spirit taking completely over to other times where the pair is sharing the body in some kind of cosmic ride-sharing scheme. When he is speaking, sometimes he refers to himself in the third person, and other times he refers—
Gotta hit him with that autistic— Dude, the eyes are always a dead giveaway if somebody's an autist, bro.
To himself as we. So that's the reason for that, just so you know. Rudyard and Odin seem to chit-chat a lot and have become pretty good buddies. One of the aspects of Rudyard speaking to the gods is that he wanted them to cure him of his PT.
Listen, I don't tolerate the fucking Islamic slander that I see in the commentary spheres constantly. I'm serious, okay? I, like many, used to be very anti-Islam, and I was wrong. I'm not Muslim, but I don't tolerate the slander, okay? People, it is one of the most disparaged religions on earth.
PTSD, which they have
Aiden, this is not content.
Done, so that's good news.
I was praying to God to end my suffering.
I like Muslims, what can I say? I'm sorry.
For like the 10,000th time, and God did reply this time. However, it was a different God than the ones I spoke to before. This was the Norse god Odin. I will later explain to you over the course of this video why me communing with a pagan god does not count as heresy. Said my PTSD was a tool for him, and I had already completed the task he asked me to do. He said that he had cleaned me out of my PTSD. There'd be some ups and downs, but it was basically over. And that was right. This happened like 3 months ago. Thank you for healing me of PTSD. I prayed for you thousands of times to do this.
Dude, everything, it's not just what he's saying that's crazy, it's his mannerisms. He just has the mannerisms of somebody who, like, needs to be in a straitjacket. Somebody that needs to be, it just, everything about him is insane. Everything, from the eyes to just even take away what he's saying. There's just everything about him. If I see this person in fucking public, I'm leaving. I'm leaving the building.
And thank you so much. I'm just gonna keep thanking you in front of this audience to demonstrate how grateful I am. You don't understand. I provide a different service in this game through Rudyard.
What's your opinion on Black Hebrew Israelites? Okay, and you're pausing, going on a tangent again, real quick, because I do have a serious opinion on this. Black Americans, people like to disparage the black Hebrew Israelites, the black Native Americans. Hey, these things are obviously fake, like the black Egyptians, whatever. But they do this because they have like an identity that was literally stolen from them. If you're black, your history that's been taught to you is slavery. You can't trace your, like, in school, whatever, you can't trace, you're like an amalgamation of like partial European from like slave owners raping slaves, and then like different African countries, if you even get a DNA test. So you don't really have like the guy who can trace his roots to Ireland or Germany. You don't really have like it's like a very like hard thing to cope with when you're the only knowledge you have of your ancestors or lineage is slavery. So I think like as a coping mechanism, people will naturally look to reshaping that identity, and they'll look for other routes to explore. It's like a coping mechanism, but it's, at the end of the day, like, I think the solution is to teach more about African history, because there's a lot of African history that, and obviously, you know, you're gonna be from a mix of places, but teach that so people can know their history beyond slavery and identify with that.
I am another name for Lord Hermes Trismegistus. Rudyard serves me, and he...
But it's a coping mechanism, ultimately.
Will be...
Because they had a history that was stolen from them.
Operating under my protection. Yahweh also owns him, but Yahweh also owns lots of people, and I spoke with Yahweh, and he's fine with letting me play for Rudyard right now. Play with Rudyard right now. Yahweh is Lord of your soul, and he is ultimate Lord, and Odin does not mess with Yahweh. Yahweh is a good guy, to say the least. However, to a god, you mortals all appear as the worst kind of woman. You appear silly, childish, irresponsible, and ungrateful.
One of my favourite things about this story is the way that Rudyard thanks Odin. Something about it tickles the sweet spot of my soul, and I kinda love it. I think it's because it reminds me of a Japanese woman thanking you for just buying some sushi from her shop. But then you realise it is in fact a famous, well-respected, intellectual YouTuber who is thanking Odin.
Thank you for your service, Odin, and it's an honor to serve.
I was gonna make that joke, dude. I was gonna make that joke. My tour guide at the Great Wall of China after I tip him.
Thank you for healing me of PTSD. I prayed for you
too far?
Thousands of times to do this, and thank you so much. Hi, this is Rudyard. I'm gonna take the narration back now. Thank you for your service, Odin. Odin likes these words for when someone offers you a service you respect, where he says a simple thank you or thank you for your service. And you should respond with, it's an honor to serve.
Odin is evidently a bit of a troll.
Oh yeah, no, you're right, he is.
Thank you for your so much. Hi, this is
my landlord, Mr. Steinberg, after I signed the new lease, despite the fact that he's illegally raised rent 50% for the next year's lease.
Rudyard, I'm gonna take the narration back now. Thank you for your service, Odin.
Now I can't feed my children.
Odin likes these words for when someone offers you a service you respect, where he says a simple thank you or thank you for your service. And you should respond with, it's an honor to serve.
Odin is evidently a bit of a troll or a pervert, as he once asked Rudyard to make a list of all of the women that he...
Dude, I knew an unironic, like, Germanic pagan. He believed in the religion, and he debated Bunk once. This is the most ripped guy you've ever seen. He's the most muscular guy I've ever seen. He's like, what, 40-something years old? He's a steroid user. Like he's out of frame from muscle, and he was debating Bunk with cams on, and the whole debate, he would just derail and talk about how if he saw Bunk in real life, he was going to turn him into, like, his eunuch concubine and, like, rape him up the ass. The whole debate was him talking about all the ways he was going to rape Bunk. And I think that was, like, the one debate where I saw Bunk become, like, so uncomfortable. He left. Or I don't think he left. I think he wanted to leave. It was so bad. It was so bad.
Is ever pleasure...
No, it was not filmed. You're going to have to take my word for it.
...himself to, then present it to Odin. I told you this is going to go to some weird places.
Odin intervened in the game, and he said, hey kid, if you write a list of every girl you date to, I will solve every issue in your life. I feel like we've built up enough connection after 6 hours that I can share stuff like this with you, and You've seen so much worse so far in this story. This is nothing compared to some of the earlier stuff with my mom. I thought it was kind of weird when Odin said it, but he had healed my PTSD, so I'll do what he says. You don't understand how much I love God.
Do I have this guy on Discord still? I want to see if he could call in later.
Both Yahweh and Odin.
That'd be so funny to have a conversation with this guy. Do you have Nyklot's Discord? I want this guy to call in, dude.
And for healing my PTSD. You cannot understand my motivational system here. And I did it, and I was looking at the list of girls I had wanked to. I had been feeling...
Why is he sharing it? I mean, that's like the least of our concerns, why he's sharing. But like, I mean, this is a little... What? How do you spell this guy's fucking name? Forget how you spell the guy's name.
Lethargic before I started writing the list, as PTSD has a nasty tendency to. This might be too much information, but we're past that stage, where every single girl on the list was white. And I'm only really attracted to white girls.
So trying to piece this all together, I think that this sticky hit list is some kind of contract involving Rudyard, Odin and Hermes. But also Odin and Hermes may be the same person. I think that this contract will solve every issue in Rudyard's life and will help him spread his heroic seed inside real women, which will help save the Western world or maybe humanity as a whole.
I think we found it. Oh, they banned him. Did they ban him from the fucking server? Oh, so I can't get his... Fuck, dude. I DM'd somebody.
Rudyard is some kind of chosen prophet type figure. We will look at him being a prophet a little later on, but let's stay focused on Rudyard releasing his bodily fluids for the time being. So he has signed this contract and agreed...
Dude, wait, I gotta just... Hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt. This is the... I gotta show you this guy's profile picture. Hold on. I gotta show you this guy's profile picture. This was the guy who spent a whole debate threatening to rape Bunk. Hold on, you have to see... Dude, you have to see this. I'm sorry to interrupt. This guy was huge. Huge. He had, like, muscles on it in the whole debate. He was like... God, you're a pretty little thing, aren't you? When I see you in real life, I'm gonna hold you down while you fucking scream and rail you up the ass. He was like the whole debate. It was like so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. This guy is the most muscular person I've ever seen. This is the guy in prison they tell you not to drop the soap around. He's fucking huge. You can't see his muscles really in this picture, but you just have to believe me. You just he believes in like Norse mythology. You just have to believe me. He looks like Kratos, bro.
Agreed to be a public servant of the Blue Room. And I think a part of this contract is the reason why he made this video, as he has to spread his message to the public. Let's hope that he signed the...
He's a gay, fascist, Nordic fucking pagan that wants rape.
Contract with a pen and didn't hand Hermes a sticky piece of...
You seem like you have a crush? No, believe it or not, that's not my type. And also he's a guy, but still not my type.
Paper to seal
if I wasn't to guys.
I state before the Lord God and Hermes that I now have...
Danny DeVito, on the other hand,
sealed the contract in the Blue Room. You have my official guarantor in front of the public and my official signing that my contract is now closed. I am officially a public servant of the Blue Room. Done.
Aiden, you know what?
The spirits also really enjoy watching Rudyard pleasure himself, which no doubt is quite the sight to behold.
Rudyard, you already implicitly signed this contract with your own life force. And the spirits really like you having this much pleasure. We love watching you writhe in complete pleasure, and it makes us happy to know that you're happy. So, this should be pretty self-explanatory, Rudyard. Your people have dozens of heroes you could pull from. Just be the hero, kid. We'll reward you if you do it right.
Rudyard says that the spirit world is full of divine semen, and when it impregnates a new...
Divine semen?
new culture, it creates a new god for them. And Rudyard also claims that Odin is the god of self-pleasure, and that Shakespeare was a reincarnation of Odin, with the name Shakespeare being a funny self-pleasure
Listen, his predictions have all come true, so I could be led to believe this.
that Odin was playing on the people of England. Odin, the god of war, death and knowledge, is also a bit of a prankster, it appears. I know a fair bit about Norse mythology and Germanic paganism, but I've never come across Odin being the god of self-love, so I'd be interested to know where this idea comes from if anyone knows. Odin also got the Taliban to watch What If Autist videos, and they marked them as culturally significant in their archives. Why not, I guess?
He also...
I believe it. I believe all of this, dude. I believe all of that. Dude, it would be so... I would love to go do a fucking IRL stream with the Taliban.
Got the Taliban foreign ministry to watch my videos, and they marked them as culturally significant content in their archives.
At this point, if we could get like a member of the Taliban on for an interview, we've succeeded. I mean, we got a dude from like Somalia who's in the middle of a fucking war zone on for an unexpected interview this week. We've got like a brave member of the U.S. Army who's stationed at the border on for an interview. Apparently an FBI agent wanted to call in to my friend's, not my friend, my viewer's retired FBI agent friend wanted to call in.
Odin was sent to Rudyard as he is the descendant of the Britons, and Odin is the genetic king of his people, the Britons. So Odin was the natural choice for his bloodline. I've seen some of Rudyard's detractors mock him, saying that Odin is in fact a Norse god and has nothing to do with Britain. But this is incorrect. The Anglo...
They don't like your no, you don't understand. They're anti-Zionist. Okay, get it right.
Saxons had a god called Woden, who is just Odin by...
but he takes W's. Woden.
Another name, and is in fact where the word Wednesday comes from. Woden's Day. Thursday is Thor's Day.
Okay, this video is is it just going to be schizo babble for the next hour of the video? I mean...
Same time. As I'm sure you have already guessed, this intricate web of cosmic intrigue is getting more and more complex. So the understanding of my puny mortal brain is starting to fray at the edges, but whether it be a prophet or a wizard, we can all rest assured that Rudyard is a very special person.
For example, your society is so cognitively a woman that we literally sent you a charming, handsome, 6'4", cook, adventurer, celebrity young man to teach your society wisdom. And
what the fuck is this? What is this? It was glorious. So I'll be back in 5. If we hit goal, when I get back, I will fuck Tyrone 9000. I think I scammed. I have to admit it, guys. I scammed. What is this? Fucking canned tuna or whatever. It's disgusting. Who the fuck eats that shit? It looks disgusting. It smells disgusting. When somebody's eating it, boring clip. Dude, all the fucking 30-year-old nobodies in Spicy Chat were like, find one funny Aiden clip. Just one funny clip. You know what, Spicy Chat? You know what, Spicy Chat? You may have won this round, okay? You may have banned me for a week for daring to disagree and then drawn me as a Destiny fan. Okay, Spicy Chat, you may have won this round. But you're on death's door because you're all so fucking old. So when the last Spicy Chatter dies and they become extinct like the fucking dinosaurs, you might want to be good to me because I'll be the only one left to say, I remember them back in my day. Oh yes, the Spicy Chatters. Hey now, I'm a 30-year-old nobody. Okay, when I say 30-year-old, 30-year-old is a mindset, okay? It's not like you're literally 30, okay? I talk to Chud, okay? I talk to plenty of people that are over the age, I like plenty of people that are over the age of 30, okay? No problem, plenty of people that are over the age of 30. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. Alright, we'll be back shortly. It was glorious. Alright. It's a mindset. I have no problem if you're over the age of fucking 30.
His audience is still 96% male, so you're still not grateful as a female society. We normally send some short old guy who wanders around. Your ancestors are really trying to help you here, and I am their gift. The spirits like to convey the message that you should mentally see me as Gandalf. If you process me as Gandalf, that's nearly a 100% accurate assessment of what my role is, what I am, etc. I am not a god, I am a wizard.
Okay, so 100%.
Nico, what is boring you? Enlighten me. What is so boring to you that you feel the need to post like multiple sleep emojis in the chat? What is boring about now poop swag too? Now poop swag. Give me a suggestion. Give me a suggestion. Ooh. This reminds
Are you really
me.
the last person to find out about this?
I'm going to put this into topics because I was going to cover this and forgot. Hold on. What is like dead air? I was just getting complaints that I was pausing too often. Now it's dead air? Okay, got you. So you can't make up your fucking mind. Cool. Yes, we have a very good fucking topic. Okay. All right, I've been actually meaning to cover this one for a while because it's like, it's interesting and hilarious. It's like a little bit of both. And I think it will be a very good topic. Hold on. It's a recap, not a drama recap. It's like a fringe situation, but if you know about it, you know about it. But hold on. Before we do that, we are over the 2-hour mark. So before we get into that topic, folks, I am going to take a quick 6-minute break. For those of you that missed it, here is me bodying Salvo Pancakes. Be here when we get back because I'm probably going to have my best topic of the week. While we're gone, if you want to dono, help us hit goal. Always appreciate it. If not, we have over 100 people watching, yet only 40 likes. So support AIDS Gang. You know, we're fighting a multi-front war. Help get us to over 100 likes. We'll be back here, folks, in 5. Where is it? Where do I call in? Where do I call in? It was like right here. And then go back like a few minutes. Wait, fuck. No. Fuck, I lost it, bro. I lost it.
When I continue the story.
It's like right here. Yeah. Hold on. Where the fuck is it? There it is. Yeah, got it. All right, we'll be back here in a minute, folks. I actually had an argument.
And they were posting their mouth.
Central sex act. This girl saying you consented, or she consented to some sexual act. About is so. There's claims that you wore down her consent. What do you say to that?
Wait, what is your question? I couldn't really hear you, so I don't want to answer something like that unless I fully know what you asked.
With Babs, did you just like keep asking her to do whatever sex acts you guys did in the car, like over and over and over, even though she said no?
I got this. So Aiden, you don't really even know what happened, and I would love to talk to you about this, but you don't. Your first question, you're clearly ignorant on the whole situation.
No,
no, you are. You are, and that's okay because nothing happened in the car. So it's like that's not what she was even accusing or anything. So it's like I would absolutely love to talk to you about this.
I'm not accusing you of anything
first
either.
question, Aiden, your first question indicates and proves you don't know the situation well enough to be asking me.
I'm asking you about who would it be better to ask than the person who was there, a first-hand source. Who do you want me to go to? Xylee Gets Real? I'm going to you.
Well, at the end of the day, this is my big surprise. Edwin's like, I got a big surprise, and it's the fucking 22-year-old Jew asking me about the rape. Are you kidding me?
This is crazy. He told me the same thing.
That's
and
what I
it's
said.
and it's the divorced Italian guy with the receding hairline. I mean,
okay.
Sure, Aiden, let's talk. You want to talk?
I want to
You got
talk.
questions? Ask your questions.
Yeah, so my question is, when you asked her, okay, were there sex acts that happened in the car?
No.
Okay. Where did this this foot sucking thing happen?
You're bringing it up to us.
Yeah, you're bringing this up to us, young man. We've talked about this. This is year 2025, Aiden, but like if you have every right to ask these questions, but learn how to ask a question and learn how to have a conversation like this, because your questions, I'm sorry, but it's like, fuck you. We're not answering how you're framing those questions.
I'm not on anybody's side here. I've been more charitable to you. I've been defending you guys for like the last hour. I'm trying to figure out what's going. My chat was telling me that there was some sort of coercion going on and asking someone over and over.
What the fuck? Okay. My personal opinion is like it's It's kind of unrelated to this. I'm saying
you want to call
what a way to
can
start
call,
a conversation.
We can call right. No, dude, he's so rude.
It's
These kids
bro,
on the internet, like,
literally
it's so rude. It's just so rude.
I feel
it's
like
so rude.
we said hey, and then like you didn't even say, oh yeah, haven't talked to you in a while. All right, anyway.
All right. Well,
like,
remember that one bitch that like accused you guys, and like all of my stupid nerdy friends made it a big deal. Yeah. Okay. It's good to talk to you too.
I'm not. Okay. First of all,
have some respect. We are your elders.
Facts.
Okay. You know what? I was a little disrespectful the way I asked it. So let me change the way I ask it. At what location did the alleged sucking of the lower extremities of the body occur? Was that better?
There was any feet that got sucked.
There wasn't.
No feet got sucked.
What do you imagine that to be like? I want to know.
And it's like, how does it get down the line where Aiden Projects is asking me about a foot sucking that didn't happen? No feet were sucked.
Then people are lying on your name.
Aiden, Aiden, newsflash.
Yeah.
People have been lying on our names for 3 years.
I know.
Newsflash.
I know.
Newsflash.
That's why I'm talking to you.
Fuck?
That's why I'm talking
Here's your
to you.
job. Find a source of us saying we did that, or anybody saying that we did that.
Guys, I think there's a fundamental. Listen, I get why you're mad. I think there's a misunderstanding of where I'm coming from, or where we haven't spoken in a while. Whatever. I am very skeptical of the Keemstar cabal. Okay, I don't go with the popular narrative. I'm trying to figure out what actually happened and get to the bottom of it. And it seems like there was it was handled like a Me Too allegation. But as I go into the details, this girl is saying she consented to some sexual acts with you guys. So I'm trying to decipher what they claim the problem was with what had occurred.
Well, I'm really glad that you're around now, but yeah, man, we've yelled about this for 2 years, that everyone was lying on our name and nobody's covering this. And do you know what everybody did? Everybody called us crazy and like shunned us out. So it's like, that's what happened at the end of the day.
I don't think you're crazy. You have someone here to listen to you and you're being dismissive of it. I'm here to listen to you.
No. Whoa. Well, let me reiterate. I appreciate that. Take my dismissiveness towards you right now, Aiden, as more as pent-up frustration towards others.
I think it's actually good the way he's saying that. Wait, why are people saying you're seeing it firsthand? Because you weren't shown a source of whatever you're describing. Like, play that for us. You know what I mean? Like, it's so weird to be like, hey, word of mouth from the chat said this, and then you're repeating it to us.
Well,
Isn't that fucking weird, dude?
Well, okay, so it seems like there's a big game of telephone, and it seems like everyone has a different idea of what happened, and people said different things in different places. And when I actually go and investigate a little bit, it seems like some sort of consensual sex act occurred. So I don't understand what people are supposed to be mad about. That's why I'm trying to. So someone's saying, "Oh, well, they wore her down." So I'm trying to figure out. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what have you done that could be interpreted as like wearing her down. I'm going to you directly.
What the fuck?
That's the first time I've ever heard that we wore her down.
Yeah.
So this is like a new one that we're hearing now. This is cool.
He's asking in the assumption that it happened. Like, what did you do? Like, what the fuck do you mean we did nothing? What are you talking about?
Yeah. So
are you talking about a foot massage with your hands that's wearing someone down?
No, I'm assuming. I'm assuming. Okay.
How does that wear someone down?
I'm gonna wear my IQ of 136 hat here. I'm sure that chatter meant Salvo and Edwin wore her down by asking for consent. Now, that chatter has it all wrong too, because where that chatter might be getting the wear down from is when we got accused by Keemstar, not by Babs, by Keemstar and Diorio of asking for consent in the car. Now, nothing really sexual happened in the car. What they're probably have it all misconstrued is we were asking her how the night before was.
Right,
and that was
right.
something that she brought up, how she might have found annoying. And we
Right,
were like,
right.
okay, I guess us asking
Right.
how that, sure. So in terms of wearing down for consent, I'm sorry, but there was no wear down or any really salvo pancakes, smooth moves even needed. This girl had her legs spread the moment she decided to leave the womb, essentially. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm so sorry, but like, if you think for a second that Babs needs any fucking worn down for consent and like pressured into do anything,
okay,
you're crazy.
Okay,
You're crazy.
Okay, well, I'm gonna assess the situation as it is, not her like previous sexual activity. But so so for the foot massage, she said yes, she consented.
Correct.
For any other sex act that occurred, she said yes.
Correct. And I would even say this, she
initiated.
She initiated. She put my dick in her pussy. She grabbed my dick and put it in her pussy.
Because I didn't want to have sex with
So like, if that's consent, I'm so sorry. Hey, Nicholas
Hold on.
Fiorio, is it consent if she grabs my dick and puts it in her own pussy? Is that consent? I think it's fucking consent.
So what did...
Yeah, so you might be confused, Aiden, of why we have this reputation. Well, I can explain it probably very easily to you. If you would actually probably like to hear it. They didn't like us. I left the Keemstar show. I was making fun of these people and doing it better than them. And I was being a dick and an asshole. And they felt like they could because I was being so ruthless with my tongue online. And, they just didn't like me. They thought it was a reason. They could. It was clicks. It was, a downfall. Whatever they want to frame it. That's why they did it, because it's YouTube. That's just the name of the game. That's just what happens. That's why they did it. They just did it because it was the story at the time. And no matter how much we would yell from the rooftops and try to defend ourselves when we could. Keep in mind also, Aiden, we were barred and banned from appearing on streams while people like Xylee and Keemstar and all the other people talked for hours and hours and hours about that one night. Despite and refusing to even have us on stream, we weren't allowed to really defend ourselves. And like when we did, so that's what happened. It got swept up in the YouTube drama cycle, and we put it there on a silver platter because we literally did it in Keemstar's bed. So we were pretty stupid, and we put a story tied up like room service. When Keem and Brantley come back from Myrtle Beach and they got the little mitts on the pillow right on the fucking bed of their mattress, literally. That's what happened. We were stupid, and YouTube drama happened. But I think anybody who pays attention.
All right, folks, we're back. Sorry about the wait. But Kino inbound. Kino is inbound. All right. For those of you that still remain, you can watch the clip ends very well. For those of you that are still 126 watching, I thought we were gonna dip. Damn, bro, we're doing good viewership wise lately. Fuck, I was gonna say the ones that stay for my 6-minute wank breaks are the real ones, the real, true, loyal AIDS gang patriots. But apparently all of you are, so very much appreciated. You all will be remembered when we surpass Gawk Logic, Gawk, and start averaging 1K viewers a stream. So, cool. All right.
AIDS gang represent, okay?
Question mark?
Go fuck yourself. Who donated that? Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Scallywag, thank you so much for the 3. Go fuck yourself, buddy. Go fuck yourself. I hate your question marks. Alright. AGP4L? Is that the real Prime Minister Modi in chat? Isn't AIDS dangerous? We are dangerous. That's why the cabal fears us. Haha, no, everybody put your question. Hilarious, dude. What's gonna be next? Aiden, you seem to be in a bad mental space. Are you doing okay, buddy? Are you doing okay? You seem depressed. What's it gonna be fucking next with you people? Holy fuck. So this is Nicholas Aldavarian. And I thought we'd do a deep dive into this because this story is... It is a true crime video, but it's not like a true crime video in the sense of like, we're gonna watch a woman... Side tangent before we even start. It's not going to be a true crime video in the sense that we're going to watch. I just got this burrito and essentially he like mutilated her dead. It's so good. The refried beans are like that kind of true crime video. Wait, I'm sorry. I need to fucking roast this bitch whenever I see her, dude. Whenever I see her. Murder. Or like Bailey Sarian, where it's like, yeah, so he like ate their brains. Oh, my foundation's a little light today, guys. He injected his fluid into random women at the grocery store. Here's mods. Can you do your thing? Wait. Where is it? There was one that was it was like this one. Why is it not loading?
Their lives better. He had heard of lobotomies in Europe, but they didn't sound all that efficient. He wanted to do lobotomies, but he wanted
This is insane. She's talking about Rosemary Kennedy or whatever the fuck her name was, who the dad gave her a horrific story. The dad had her like sent away and gave her a lobotomy and hid her from the family. And she's like, hey guys, we're doing a Mexican food mukbang. So yeah, he shoved the ice pick into her brain. Like, it's insane. How is this like a well-respected genre? I don't understand.
Came up with the iconic ice pick and hammer method. Sometimes it goes up the nose, sometimes it's through the eyeballs. The revealing of such a method was drama in the medical community. A lot of people were...
Like the way, and it's like, I wouldn't have such like an issue with it in terms like, oh, this is morally wrong. In the sense like, this is the type of person that would moral police somebody. Like, she's one of those mainstream like shit unicorns and rainbows featured creator VidCon YouTubers. You know what I mean?
For the lobotomy, she was absolutely violently suicidal. After the lobotomy, there was nothing.
She was violently suicidal. Oh, this burrito is so good. The videos always start off like, so happy, yeah! Hi, friends! The mukbang show! So basically, they shoved an ice pick into her fucking skull.
Hello everyone.
Hey friends!
And welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and today we are back.
Today we're back. We're talking about fucking ice picks and brains. Yeah! It's like, what the fuck?
Back with another mukbang! Woo! And I'm really excited because we're having delicious food. Okay, we're
delicious food. But you know who couldn't eat delicious food when she needed to be on a feeding tube after they shoved a fucking ice pick in her brain? Rosemary Kennedy. But I'm sure she would love this delicious burrito. That looks disgusting. I mean, yeah, there's no way like a human consumes like this much food in one sitting. They don't really. I heard they just waste. I don't know if she does it specifically, but they take bites and then we'll like put it away in between cuts.
I'm gonna be eating Mexican food today. This is from a place called Ha Ha Ha.
Ha 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 ha, just like the Rosemary Kennedy story.
Never go anywhere without ExpressVPN on all of my devices, so make sure to check out expressvpn.com/bis to find out how you can get 3 months free. That's expressvpn.com/bis.
2 days? You're crazy if you think this amount of food lasts 2. This is like
companies, but
this is like a week's worth of food. This is like a week's worth of food. This is dinner for one night, dinner the other night. This is like fucking. I'm not eating this in one sitting for dinner. This is dinner and lunch. Dinner. Like, this is like not 2 days worth of food. I mean, split this down the middle. Who's eating this much food in 2 days?
Details, even your emails. ExpressVPN protects you from those hackers by encrypting your network.
It's not okay.
They put an ice pick in her brain.
Just a kick.
They put an ice pick in her brain.
It's on fire. Okay, wow. Delicious. I'm gonna go in for it. Look, is that a society that you want to live in? And is it worth abandoning everything for this utopia?
No, the society I want to live in is watching, like, dumb women, or men, it could be men too, dumb individuals engage in fucking gluttony to the greatest extent on camera, shoving their face with God knows fucking what, while, like, talking about people being, like, mutilated and murdered and shit, and, like, laughing about it with their, like, cutesy little intro. That's the society I want to live in, with, like, a fan base that probably, like, morally polices other people, the type of people that go into people's replies and are like, this is a yikes moment, this is a yikes for me.
Like, at what cost?
Yeah, this is a society I want to live in.
Would you be willing to make sure that these things were gone forever? Doesn't that sound like a futuristic question? But it was already attempted in the past. Oh yeah. And clearly, it was so successful.
And she did, like, a Me Too video on Nikocado Avocado, and if I remember correctly, wasn't the allegation that he was just, like, kind of mean to her or something?
Clearly. I love the anxious feeling that my stove is gonna explode out of nowhere anytime I pass by it the past few days. I've been doing this, and that is...
I mean, it's just insane. Like, this video got really... What was the allegation again?
In and out of sleep.
In and out of sleep. When they put that at the beginning, what do you think? You think rape, right? Or, like, somebody got drugged and raped.
Hopefully you can trust me now.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. You guys have been with me since the beginning. Some of you may know, but...
Did he rape her? I don't even remember what the nature of the allegations were. No, I know it wasn't Me Too, but you can't tell me the video wasn't marketed like a Me Too video, right? It's her crying in the thumbnail. The video starts with an ambiguous clip of, like, in and out of sleep. Am I, like, crazy for thinking, like, it was marketed to, like, look like somebody might have been raped? Like, is that, like, not how that comes off? Am I crazy for thinking that? I don't even know what he did, but I know it wasn't, like, rape or anything, right? He was, like, being weird and mean and shit. Is that not how it's marketed?
Oh.
In and out of sleep. What do you think that means when you first get
You can trust me now.
I do. In and out of sleep.
In and out of sleep. Yeah, like, I don't... Oh, so was she sexually assaulted? Maybe I spoke too soon. Did he sexually assault her? Isn't he gay?
Hopefully you can trust
Isn't he homosexual?
me now.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not even gonna go into this. We have another topic to talk about. Oh, he took pics of her security system.
Fine.
Yeah, but so he didn't assault. Yeah, that's what I remember. He didn't assault her, but the whole, like, beginning of the video and the thumbnail kind of, like, leads you to believe this is gonna be a Me Too. I feel like this is very intentional, how this is done. I don't know, maybe I'm schizo. Aiden, how much money would you have to be paid to get lobotomized? I'd do it for free. No, I'm kidding. Lobotomy will just get rid of the emotions, not the horrible, horrible, horrible memories of the time Salvo Pancakes leaked Nicholas Dioria's nudes. He was generally really weird to her and her house. He could have been. He could have been. But, like, the way... Oh, okay. I mean, we had that up from before. I'm allowed to show that on stream. We pulled that up on stream before. Good one, Lyrics. Lyrics linked this to us. We pulled it up. She's fully covered, okay? It's censored. She wore it on TV. She wore it on TV. He's gay, of course he's weird. Okay. Stop with the... I'm not deleting... I've already shown this on stream 3 times. Stop telling me to delete VOD, okay? Stop telling me to fucking delete my VOD. I'll delete VOD when I feel like it. You know what? I'm just gonna show, like, thug hunting porn on stream. And I'm not gonna delete VOD. How did that happen again? It wasn't by mistake the first time. It's fully censored.
Nicholas Alaverdian's battle for life ended February 29th, 2020. The children and families in the care of the Rhode Island Department of Children, Youth, and Families, for whom he inspired and led through turbulent government.
Is this whole thing...
To Nicholas, even...
Is he just talking? Is the whole thing just him talking? There's nothing to pull up. Where is it, dude? It's so funny. Oh my god. ZZZZ, good one. Did anybody make a good video on this? Oh my god. Wait, is he pretending to be... Is he pretending to be Jewish now?
Accused of faking.
Okay.
Or a private lawyer.
So this guy, essentially, he was like a pathological narcissist who like did statutory rape in Utah. And then he fled to England. And when they found him in England, they interviewed him. And he claimed that he was not Nicholas Alaverdian. He was a British guy by, get this, guess what his fake name was? A British man by the name of Arthur Knight.
Who are you?
I am Arthur Knight, and this is my wife, Miranda Knight.
He's like, I don't know who Nicholas Alaverdian is. He's like pretending to be a British guy. It's like so bizarre. It's so bizarre. He's like, I don't know who this Nicholas Alaverdian person you speak, like in like the worst British accent you've ever heard.
Are you Nicholas Rossi?
No.
Are you Nicholas Alaverdian?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Years late to the story, yeah, I'm recapping. There's nothing good happening right now. Okay, we're gonna talk about old shit. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Are you Nicholas Brown?
Yes.
Police say this man has lived his life.
What if there's like a twist ending and this really was some like random like British guy with a funny accent?
Under at least 16 different names. They believe he fled.
Old news? Old news? Old news, really? Alright, this is a crazy drama, guys. We're gonna be covering
this video was made possible. They're called Romulus and Remus, and...
Alright, never mind. Fuck, wrong. Fuck.
Fled from America to the UK to avoid rape charges in Utah. Then, in 2020...
Just watch the Willie Mac Destiny video. Stop being so gay. Everybody's already seen it. Everybody's already seen it. What do you want me to say about the Willie Mac Destiny video?
They were told he was dead. Just under a year ago, police believed they had found the fugitive in Scotland.
Pulled it over on a lot of people, but he got fooled.
No, I didn't cut it because it was TOS. That was a joke. I was going to actually watch the full video. Retards. Retards. Retards.
Family believe Nicholas had died.
No, he's not dead. He loves life too much.
People who knew Nicholas Rossi, Nicholas Alaverdian.
Nobody wants me to cover the Willie Mac video. Nobody wants me to cover it.
Claim that it's you.
There is nobody that wants me to cover that fucking video. Everybody's already seen it.
DNA doesn't lie.
I know my husband does not have tendencies as a rapist.
He's a con artist.
He did it. He did it. Take one look at him. He did it. He raped.
He is. I call him a jellyfish. Because a jellyfish, you can't pick it up. There's no spine to it. But it has long tentacles and it can sting you.
Is he capable of doing it?
anybody's capable of doing anything if they want to.
Aiden, I'm tired doing ASMR. Am I not allowed to fucking watch any? Please don't do this. This is fun stuff.
I'd be very happy though, just to see him remain behind bars.
These are very serious.
What do you want me to look at? You're bored by everything. You're bored by everything, okay? We're talking about this right now. If you don't like it, then tell me what else you would like me to cover.
Charges that this man faces, they claim this man faked his own death to evade those charges. Did you fake your own death?
Sharon, we're sitting having a conversation. I've never been dead to anyone.
So for all the Brits in the audience, this is a convincing accent, right? This is clearly an innocent man. This guy has no clue who Nicholas Aldavarian is. He's Arthur Knight. I think he got the name wrong at one point. Called himself Arthur. But the name he picked, it's like, I'm a British guy now. What's my fake name gonna be? Arthur fucking Knight. It's like J.K. Rowling trying to like write come up with names for ethnic characters. Like the one Chinese character in Harry Potter was called like Cho Ching. The one Jewish character was called Anthony Goldstein. The one black character was called Ainsley Shacklebolt. So this guy's like, what is a British name I could think of? Ah, yes, Arthur Knight. Yes, my name is Sir Nigel Cummingsworth. Cummingsworthington. Thank you.
It's a story that began with an arrest in a Glasgow hospital, and it continues to attract international headlines. Rhode Island is more than 3,000 miles away from where the individual at the centre of this case was arrested. It's here many believe they've always known the true identity of the man behind the mask.
Dream? Dream face reveal? No, but the UK police will literally walk past actually criminals who changed one hat or something. Do police in the UK not carry guns? I've heard that. Unfortunately, horrible things happening in the UK. Horrible things. Very scary stuff, folks. Very scary stuff.
This is Cranston, a small town near the capital of Rhode Island, where Nicholas Alaverdian spent most of his childhood. He lived with his mother and stepfather, David Rossi. The singer, who was an Engelbert Humperdinck impersonator, adopted him when he was 8.
There's Nicholas.
Nicholas took his stepfather's surname, but the pair's relationship was nothing short of turbulent, and at times violent.
As a child.
So this is like, just right off the bat, this is like obviously a fucking paid actor to slander. There's like a conspiracy against Arthur Knight. It's a conspiracy. They are trying to, it's the Great Replacement. They want to get rid of the Anglo-Saxon, true British white males. So they're going to accuse them of being random rapists from the US. I mean, really, the deep state is willing to try anything at this point.
From day one, when I adopted him and his brother and sister, they weren't no bargains either. He was trouble. Hit his...
Okay, that's like, even if your son is like the most fucked up person on earth, this is just a horrible way they were no bargains either. You could tell this is a man who clearly loves taking in children. I get it. Some children come from shitty circumstances, you get put up into adoption or whatever, but like you should treat them, they're your kids. Treat them as your kids. And like to call them, they're no, I mean, maybe he could just be a New Englander talking his shit. He could love them. I don't know. But like, I was watching like a fucking school shooter's dad talk about him, and the fucking Newtown, Connecticut shooter or whatever. And the dad was like, he was such a weird kid. I never fucking liked him. He wouldn't give people like eye contact and shit. And it's like, God, I wonder what went wrong in this guy's life. God, I wonder what went wrong in this guy's life.
Mother hit his grandmother's, steal from the other two, trouble going to school, want to run everything, always want to be in control. He just wanted everything his way. He was the devil's spawn. I took a lot on. 3 kids, her. I took on what no man would, I believe. But I did it. I loved them. I loved her.
AIDS gang represent.
When Nicholas
okay?
was arrested,
Salvo Pancake's son or Bo Black's daughter?
Salvo Pancake's son by far, because at least I get some fucking entertainment. As crazy as Salvo is, the guy is very entertaining. The guy is very entertaining. If I'm gonna have a fucking problematic kid either way, my problematic kid might as well be fucking funny. Right?
around 13, he was moved into foster care, run by the Department of Children, Youth and Families. He lived at various group homes where troubled teenagers are placed under one roof. It was at this time Nicholas got his first job.
I mean, this guy's life was destined to be fucked. The foster care system is fucked as it is, and then these like group homes are also just like, I mean, look into it. They're nightmares, dude. Absolute nightmares.
At Rhode Island State House, he worked with politicians, helping them with paperwork and other administrative duties.
The most common word used by those who knew Nicholas Alaverdian during his time here at the State House was persistent. They say he was a man who refused to take no for an answer.
Based? That's how you win. That's called the winner mindset, okay? That is the winner mindset. Sure, maybe indicative narcissistic personality disorder, but it is the winner mindset. Never take no for an answer. Okay, actually, I should not say that. I just got accused of being a rape apologist after my last stream, so it's probably not a good... My PR team, my Mexican PR team, Toki is hitting up my line right now, telling me to shut it down, so I have to formally tell you, I retract that statement. Oh wait, fuck, we're playing, alright.
Hi, Brian.
How are you?
Nice to finally meet you.
Pleasure.
Former state representative Brian Coogan took Nicholas under his wing. He initially thought the teenager was a genuine hard worker who had an unusually keen interest in the law for someone so young.
He kept asking me to adopt him because he didn't have any family and he was in a group home and a foster home, and he was going to live on this very street a couple houses down.
Why didn't you adopt him?
He called me up one day. He said, "Rep, you gotta come down to court. You gotta come down to court. They're trying to get rid of me." So I get down to the courthouse, and as soon as I walk up, he grabs me, hugs me, and embraces me like I was the only thing he had in this world. I said, "Nick, whoa, what's going on?" He says, "They're trying to get rid of me. You gotta help me." And I went in with the judge, and he said to me, he goes,
Exactly, this is more proof attesting the fact the deep state was after this guy from the get-go. From the get-go, Arthur Knight, let's disregard the fact he was in America. Just an innocent British guy, okay? Just an innocent British man being persecuted by the deep state. God, the lengths these people will go to, it sickens me. Sickens me.
"See this file right here? He had a file on Nick. So all the times that he was telling you and the other reps up the State House that he was being abused, cuts and bruises, those were all self-inflicted." He goes, "I can't let you adopt him."
Brian decided not to adopt Nicholas, even though the teenager claimed everything the judge said was a lie. Nicholas stayed in foster care.
To be fair, there is like sweeping within that industry. He very well could have been abused and officials could have swept for it. To be fair. But the guy is a pathological liar, so maybe the judge was onto something.
Lived in Florida until he was 18. When he returned to Rhode Island, he took his claims of abuse to the next level.
This is where Nicholas Alaverdian returned in his 20s to walk the halls of power in an attempt to gain support for his campaign to improve the children's welfare system.
And I was subjected to torture, beatings, assault in various forms. I was...
Yeah, dude, this is the Zodiac, bro. I love how this is just, for example, just such like a common look amongst crazy people that like every year someone will claim to find the Zodiac, and it's just like they'll find a picture of a guy that looks like this. And like when you look, especially the 60s, everybody looks like this. I was going through my grandparents' wedding album. My grandfather looks identical to the fucking Zodiac sketch. Identical. And yes, He was in the area at that time. And yes, he's very hesitant to talk about that period of time. And he gets very mad when you bring up the Zodiac case, but coincidence.
Has refused to contact anybody at all.
It was at this time he met Representative Ray Hull. Together they worked on legislation to improve the lives of children in care.
Was Nicholas Alaverdian one of those kids who fell through the cracks?
Yes, absolutely. Or why would he be advocating so much to make the change if he wasn't one of them that fell through the cracks? He was a young individual with some tenacity that wanted to change the world, and you could really latch on to him. I'm thinking, wow, here is a young fella coming to us, our committee, and explaining why he needs changes in DCYF. He knows it because he lives it.
Around the same time, Nicholas was openly advocating against abuse. He had sexually assaulted a young woman in Ohio in 2008.
All right. Okay. Bit of a hypocrite. That's, according to Jar, that's the worst thing you can be. So he's a bit of a hypocrite, not gonna lie. Inexcusable, okay? Inexcusable stuff happening.
We met at the campus cafeteria. He said, "Do you mind if I walk you to your class?" So when me and him were walking into the basement, he starts attacking me, trying to kiss me rough against my face. He had his hands up my shirt, down my pants. And at that point, I ran up to my class and I was like, this is, I think, just the safest place for me to go right now. And then I come out and he's waiting for me. And I'm so sorry. I got caught up. I'm so sorry. I couldn't resist. You were just so pretty, and just giving me the whole line. And then I go and I report what happened to the police.
This happened in January 2008, and he was then
Dude, the insane Riz.
Sentenced in May of that year.
He gets sentenced. The judge does find him guilty in my case. He had to register as a sex offender every year for 15 years. And that part was hard for me because I was like, well, what if I'm ruining his life? But at the same
I believe her. I mean, look at this. Yeah, I believe her too. Obviously. No shit. Yeah. This guy's a fucking pathological liar. Total fucking psychopath. I believe her as well.
time I was like, if someone
Aiden, so do you think allegations equals evidence? Yes. In this case, yes. Actually, no, it's not even allegations. We just look at them. Yeah. That's how I think the law should operate. We just look at you to decide if you're guilty or not. No problems with that or anything, right?
someone could have spoke up and prevented what happened to me, would I have wanted them to. Yeah, I was like, let's end the cycle here. Let's get it documented, because I don't know why, but it felt very orchestrated and rehearsed.
Nicholas was initially wanted by US authorities over one charge of rape in Utah, dating back to 2008. He has now been served with 2 more extradition requests from his state, one relating to the rape of a woman in Salt Lake City and another for a sexual assault in the city of Orem. Investigations have also been carried out into various counts of fraud.
Dude, this guy's the fucking cross-country rapist. Is there a state this guy hasn't fucking raped in?
He's been married several times. One in Ohio lasted just 7 months. Brian claims Nicholas's second wife never knew about her husband's criminal record, and she told him she was abused from day one.
He called me up one day and he says, Rep, I want to take you to dinner. I got married. I said, again? Because he was supposed to be married like 3 or 4 times. He said, I want you to meet my wife, Catherine. We met at a restaurant downtown Providence, a fancy restaurant called Fleming's. And talking to his wife, very lovely girl, pure as snow, salt of the earth, very religious. So we parted ways, and then they went back to Dayton, Ohio. She called me up
Pure
a
as
couple of weeks
snow. What does that mean? What is that? Dog whistling? Dog whistles? Dog whistling?
after that, and she was horrified into the phone. Nick was locking her in the bathroom. He stole her identity. He got credit cards in her name. And she was just on the horrors. I said, Catherine, I said, you call the police? She goes, I call the police. I'm going to get away from him.
Well, what was your reaction when you got that phone call?
I was horrified. I couldn't believe it. I started Googling Nick's name, And I used all his aliases. I found out he's a registered sex offender. He's suing people. People are suing him. He's got all sorts of court cases going on. Nick's a...
Okay, this happens to everyone. Okay, like Kat said, everyone is arrested at least 5 times in life for sexual assault. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. We all make mistakes.
Weird kid. I said I would help him out with some money. You need to get an apartment. And Nick had called me. He goes, oh, can you help me out? Can you help me out? And I said, yeah, Nick, I'll help you out. And then I just decided not to. Why should I, you know? I've given him money before. I loaned him money. Never paid me back. He says, you said you would. I said, no, I didn't. So we went right to his phone. He went to my folder. He went to the date and he played it back for me. How crazy is that?
Wait, so this guy lost the debate and he's complaining? You said this. No, I didn't. Oh, well, here's the recording that I saved from this exact date at this exact time. Dude, this guy lost the debate so fucking hard.
So I said, Nick, what is that? He goes, I record.
This is literally Diorio. This is Diorio.
Every phone conversation, and I file them. I put them in a file. It's a dangerous kid.
It's dangerous. Wait, it's dangerous because he caught you. No wonder he records when he has to deal with people like you. He won, dude. He won so hard. You're really complaining? No wonder. Listen, they're talking to biased sources. This guy's mad that he lost the debate like fucking 8 years ago. Okay, unironic. The guy is a rapist and like a pathological liar, but tell me that's not like a Giga Chad move. Okay. I never said that. Oh, well, here's the recording of you saying that. Exactly. And exact quotes from the day and time it happened.
It's believed around 2017, Nicholas left the United States and travelled to Europe. Ray hadn't spoken to Nick in some time and then received a phone call from him to say he was unwell. At this stage, the state representative said he had no idea that the man he was speaking to was a registered sex offender facing further allegations.
I get a phone call once or twice. I'm in Russia now. I have a sickness and he's going to be treated. And so that goes on. And then I get another call, I'm dying. I said, Joel, you can beat this. You'll be fine. His voice was scratchy. It's all coming back to me now. He was labored. I felt kind of sorry for the guy, you know, and I encouraged him. I said, I'll pray for you. This is not the end. There were many other people who come through.
Dude, if my friend called me up like that, it'd be an epic troll to be like, this is the end. You are going to die. Sorry, heaven doesn't exist. If it does, you're not going to it, so you're gonna suffer forever in eternity. It'd be such an epic troll. It's like getting your friend. Yeah, it's like getting your friend on fucking like giving him acid and then like while you get like right as he peaks, start like staring into his eyes very intently, being like, they're coming for you, they're watching, they're coming for you, they're watching. It's such an epic troll.
Do this and keep your chin up, you know, you'll be fine.
Police agencies were tracking Nicholas and had asked those closest to him to try and flush him out.
Next thing you know, I have the U.S. Marshals coming to my house. I had the FBI from Ohio call me. I had the FBI from Providence, Rhode Island call me. And they're all looking for him.
Was Nicholas Alaverdian still alive?
Yes, he was still alive. And he was calling me every now and then. And when he called me, I said, Nick, you got everybody looking for you. You got serious charges. He was calm and cool on the phone, talk like a lawyer. Oh, it's all a big misunderstanding. And you almost want to believe him.
Where was he? Where did he say he was?
I asked him where he was at. He says, I'm in another country. I'm nowhere around. They're never going to find me. He says, I'm married with 2 kids now. I said, married.
Dude, it's fucking Jason Bourne, bro. This guy's so cool.
With 2 kids.
Read the fucking chat. Aiden, Eli Porter won the Iron. Who's Eli Porter? What do you want me to read in chat? There's nobody saying anything. I am checking chat. I am checking chat. Nobody is saying anything. What do you want me to react to? Who the fuck is Eli Porter?
I said, what'd you do? Add water? Was it like oatmeal? The very last time I talked to him, he called me and goes, Rep. I said, Nick, what's the matter with your voice? I'm dying. I'm in a hospital bed.
How's that
I'm
my
dying.
problem?
I said, what's wrong with you? He goes, I got 2 weeks to live. I said, what's wrong with you? He says, I have lymphoma. I have cancer. I have this. I said, really? I said, listen, you cockroach. I said, cockroaches don't die. I said, you're not dying. I said, you're a sexual predator and you're trying to escape and you're faking your death. You are not dying. He goes, stop talking to me like that. I want to have peace with you. I'm on my deathbed. I said, and I was swearing at it. I was like foaming at the mouth.
Who the fuck is Eli Porter? Who is Eli? I don't know who Eli Porter is, dude. I'm sorry. I have zero idea who Eli Porter is.
I said, you're a liar. I said, you're in a lot of trouble. They're going to get you. You can't hide from the law. I said, you know the old saying, the long arm of the law. They're going to get you, Nick.
Live and local news and information on WPRO, Providence, a Cumulus station.
Sad news to pass along. A voice you've heard on the air here on WPRO. Nicholas Aliverdian, he has passed away from a long battle with...
Oh my god, dude. He actually... Wait. He got a radio station to report on his death? Dude, this is next level trolling. Honestly, like, I'm unsure whether or not to, like, respect the hustle here. This is, like, next level shit, dude.
Cancer, leaving his wife and 2 children. Nicholas Aliverdian was 32.
His passing is a very, very sad incident for us, and may you rest in peace, Nicholas.
Next thing I hear a call from his wife, which I didn't know he was married. She's asking me to present the official proclamation of the passing of Nicholas Aliverdian as a memorial from the State House official.
Which you did?
Of course.
How do you feel about that now?
Well, from what I know now to what I knew then, I feel kind of, disappointed, but I would still do it again for the person that I knew who died or passed away. I would still do it, not thinking that he might have set this up himself.
Attempts were made to hold a memorial service at 2 separate churches. The priest here was told to cancel the mass by police. Officers believe that Nicholas Aliverdian may have been vain enough to attempt to attend the service himself to hear the tributes being paid. What did you think when you saw that?
Dude, you gotta root out the fake motherfuckers in your life, and there's no better way to do that than to, like, fake your own death. And then, like, show up to the services. Honestly, there's no better way to do that.
Obituary.
I was furious. I said, this kid is a con artist, is what he is.
The obituary did raise a few eyebrows in Rhode Island, and suspicion quickly spread. I visited the pub where Nick gains a reputation for his gift of the gab and drinking ability. The achievement of downing 300 pints is celebrated on the walls of the Wickedon.
Dude, the guy's accomplished. These people just sound fucking jealous. Why is my invasion going like total shit?
They had a nickname for him here.
That's right. They called him 3 Questions Nick, because Nick would just pepper them with questions, and then they had a house rule that he was only allowed 3 questions or they would cut him off. So he was known as 3 Questions Nick.
Nicholas Aliverdian, according to everyone, died.
Why are they getting on so deep? We all mess up, and these kind rapists and these reporters want to act so morally high. As okay, good one, buddy.
Yes.
Did you believe?
Explain what we're doing in the game real quick. I'm invading Turkey as Italy, and I'm gonna probably have to restart my invasion because I successfully invaded them with Bulgaria's help, and on a previous save, but Bulgaria then claimed all the territory for themselves, and I then had to invade Bulgaria. And at that point, it was fucking later into the game than I wanted it to be.
Especially the crew here, they smelled a rat almost immediately.
Didn't I tell you when the obituary came out? Wasn't I the first to say it?
Yes, you were.
What did you say?
Nick's not dead. Nick wrote his own obituary.
I was more credulous because I was contacted
And I'm gonna let the Turks fall back here and then encircle them.
by his family to speak at his memorial, and his supposed wife called me from Europe. The last time I spoke to Nick, he said he was living in Western Ireland. So I said to this woman, well, how are you doing in Western Ireland? She said, what are you talking about? I live in Geneva. I went, oh, that's interesting. But she said Nick wanted to.
Who is Eli Porter? Who is Eli Porter?
You at his service because he loved what you wrote about him. And I thought, what did I write about him? I've never written anything about him. And so she read me this very full quote of fulsome praise for him. And I said, I didn't write that. She said, oh, well, no, Nick cherished it.
Do you doubt it all, everything, or do you think?
I doubt everything. I doubt everything. I have no idea. I don't know him. I thought I knew him, but I don't, and I certainly.
Dude, this guy's just a
doubt
fucking hater.
every aspect of his biography that he told me.
Over in the UK, a man calling himself Nicholas Brown married a woman called Miranda Knight on February 22nd, 2020, a week before the date of death stated on Nicholas Alaverdian's obituary. This man began working for a Canadian woman who's expanding her business across the pond, but things quickly turned sour. She now believes the person she employed was Nicholas Alaverdian.
I knew him as Nicholas Brown. In January 2020 is when we started. And by the end of the month, I was not very happy. He seemed passionate. He seemed like he was determined. But then one day...
Topic suggestion, alert, alert, alert. Okay, I'm looking. Calm down. This better be good. Huh? Is this real? Did we win? AIDS Gang has... We may not have finished invading Turkey, but AIDS Gang may have claimed its first successful conquest. Inshallah. Are you serious? Now recording is over. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Are you serious, bro? We're calling our inside source. Is he gonna pick up? Beckett, you're on the air if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm also live. Why are you phoning me randomly? What can I do for you?
What's going on with Now Recording?
Do you mean what's going on Now Recording?
I've heard a rumor Now Recording's ending.
Yeah, it's over.
Okay, so you're trolling.
Ever since Mitch died. Yeah, no, we're not ending. Listen, Now Recording over. No, we're just like, everyone's like a little bit busy at the moment. So, I've just been a bit all over the place. Matt's doing stuff. And we're just like trying to find our rhythm in the new year.
So that's why you're what you're putting a statement out about?
What?
So you're putting a
No, I'm just
okay, wait. So somebody said Now Recording's releasing a statement later today.
Who the fuck said that?
Very trustworthy source, Boobs Jiggler on Twitter. And Luna Lizzie.
Okay, I've just checked the group chat and it's just Mitch posting the tweet and saying, "What's this?" Posting an image of the tweet. If Now Recording's ending, no one's informed any of the members of Now Recording.
If a tree falls in the forest, nobody's around to hear it. Does it ever make a sound? If Now Recording ends, would anybody even notice? Does anybody watch that dead show?
Listen. I think the fact that Now Recording is a complete incoherent mess and still has either the same or better viewership than you, maybe you should stop throwing those stones, buddy.
There were like I'm streaming it like for the East Coast. It's like after midnight for them, and we were peaking at like 130 viewership. Didn't you guys get 118 during the streamies? And how long is Now Recording been going?
Wait, do you mean during the Spurgies?
Or Spurgies, yeah, I don't fuck.
That was like 350.
It's 350. Okay, that's definitely
so.
rigged. How many what was your peak in the last stream?
Last stream was like pretty low. I think it was like 150, something like that. I'd have to go and check the
Well,
stats.
we've gotten 150 for
But,
many
like-
streams. I'd say we're comparable in viewership. I
Yeah,
peaked at
yeah, sure. Like we, it depends what we're doing, and it depends how organized we are. But like generally now, recording is concurrents are 150 to 200 on average.
Yeah,
on average.
so are mine. So are mine. It's no biggie.
Well, yeah, but our streams are an absolute shit show most of the time, and that's kind of my point, right? So like you're throwing stones at a
So-
podcast that everyone realizes is a complete fucking mess.
So
well, yours,
that's your
like
cope.
I like to think is like this
Beaver-
isn't cope. This is me taking shots at your stream.
Beaver, you literally just essentially said you're comparing now recording to my stream, implying that my stream is like better organized, which is why viewership is comparable.
It is better organized.
So how? Okay, so we've got admission from now recording, folks.
Okay, listen. I'd like to point out Rags is like we have over 6K on EFAP yesterday. If we're measuring dicks, listen. Yes, I'm getting. Listen, I'm constantly fucking owned. Okay,
Who?
I think my peak
Who on what?
from Rag.
On where?
From Rags. From
Who?
Rags from EFAP.
EFAP Rags.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the name. Well,
Fuck is wrong with
congratulations to. Did you just like invent somebody?
No, he's in my chat.
This doesn't sound like a real person. Rags.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, my homie Cloths. Yeah, dude, my homie Cloths. He says he's outdone you in viewership. Yeah, I'm sure he's real. I'm sure he exists.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, buddy.
More now recording lies. Let's see what his chat is saying. They're Cope and Steve. Did he get
No one
rated?
cares.
Kick A up. NPCs. Goodbye, Aiden. Kick Aiden. Aiden cannot read. Confirmed. How much to kick Aiden? Get Aiden off this. My homie Aiden. Thank you, Gash. Aiden, your streams are boring half the time. It's dead. Where is this dead air thing coming from? Okay. The biggest criticism I get is pausing too much. The biggest criticism I get is that I pause too much. What are you talking about? Are you serious? Dead air. Do they just think I'm Queeman? Like, I don't understand. Someone was like criticizing, what would a Jew know? Juden Projects. Is this the Jew? What the fuck is this? Huh? This was this was the guy that called in and debated me on the death penalty and was like really, or not the death penalty, on fucking Lolicon. Do you see what I have to deal with? Do you see what I have to deal with every time I exist? It's like, oh, the fucking Jew. See what I have to deal with? Folks. How much to kick Aiden? And it's the same like types of profile pictures. How much to kick Aiden? And Stan Designs. We're gonna stalk random chatters. How much? And Stan Designs. This is a little weird. Yeah, it is. I'm stalking this person. And Stan Designs, you're being stalked. And Stan Designs, how much to kick Aiden? Well, let's take a look at your content, okay? Let's take a look at your content. And Stan Designs. Creating pendants. It's always the same people. Like the fucking BPD X Tumblr users or like the 30-year-old cat ladies. It's always the same people. Or like the like ambiguously homosexual boomers. She was on MySpace. She was on Tumblr back in the day. Okay, she probably attended DashCon. Got a nice iMovie template. Like and the video has not even fucking started yet, okay? What are we subscribing for? We don't know anything about your content. Alright, let's see how it looks. Really? Really? All that? This looks like something I could fucking buy at Party City. And who's wearing that? Am I fucking Merlin, the bearded wizard? Who's wearing that? Who the fuck is wearing that shit? Yeah, dude, look at this drip. Look at this fucking Harry Potter ass drip. Who's wearing that? That looks like shit, okay? And Stan Designs? More like and Stan can't fucking design anything. This looks horrible. You suck. Let's see. Let's look at this lovely design from Ann Stan. Okay. More fucking. Who is wearing
AIDS gang
this?
represent, okay?
Say, money, yum yum.
Money, yum yum. What's the Oh, okay. I just realized what you're gonna clip. I see what you did. I see what you did. Who is wearing this? Who is... I gotta wear this so I'll fight the Demigorgon. Like, come on. Come on. Where do you set up shop and Stan Designs? Fucking Diagon Alley? Ridiculous stuff. Alright, who else do we got?
His chest all the
Oh no, do we lose the chatters? Fuck.
No, we're just like
Good thing he keeps up chat.
Yeah, I'm also
so we can find more people to harass.
Randomly. What can I do for you?
More people to harass. Who else do we got? Kick Aiden. Resting Brandon face. Resting Brandon face. What's up, Aiden? What's up? We're harassing random chatters. Okay, we got nothing on you. You win this round. Resting Brandon face.
Ship than you. Maybe you should stop throwing those stones, buddy.
Are you kidding? There were like I'm streaming
AIDS
it like
represent, okay?
Say cummies yum yum.
I am not saying that. You could pick something else. Cummies yum yum? What does that even mean? Oh. I guess I did just say it. Insane T, let's watch your amazing content. Oh, just stealing people's music. Shameless re-uploads. Oh, a fucking Eurocuck. I don't know, they're filming at concerts. Okay, got it. So you're a Eurocuck. Live at... This is some Scandinavian fucking place. Is it Denmark? Denmark. I think it's Denmark. Fucking Eurococks.
This video was
Doxing? Doxing? Problem? Problem? Actually, let's, I'm going to read out this chatter's longitude and latitude. Doxing stream. Problem? For the East Coast, it's like after midnight for them, and we were peaking at like 130 viewership. Didn't you guys get 118 during the streamies? And how
No.
long has now recording been going?
Wait, do you mean during the Spurgeon?
Aiden is so retarded and Jewish. Or Spurgies, yeah, I don't know.
We were like, it was like, that was like 350.
350. Aiden is from an ethnic group that is good with money, above average IQ. Interesting.
I
Okay,
believe
that's
so, yeah.
definitely rigged. How many what was your peak in the last stream?
Last stream was like pretty low. I think it was like 150, something like that. I'd have to go and check the stats.
Well, we've
But,
gotten
like-
150 for many streams. I'd say we're comparable in viewership.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
Jewish project.
Sure, it depends what we're doing. And
or Juden projects.
depends how
bro.
organized we are, but like, on average. Shit show.
Who is Eli Porter? What would a Jew know? We found like fucking 8. Is this the Jew? Juden Projects. What would a Jew know? Is this... Okay, maybe I got Beckett's like target audience wrong. Okay, I was like thinking about a bunch of like fucking cat ladies and boomers. I got his target audience completely wrong. Totally wrong. It's a mix. Please kick Aiden with love and hate. Doesn't exist. Fake person. Rigged dono.
EFAP.
Who is this wuss? Okay, you know what? You know what? We're gonna find the worst content of all time. We're about to find the worst content of all time. No? Okay, fake channel. It's rigged. Fake people in chat. Fake people in chat. Yeah, why is everybody doing this VTube thing now? Why are people doing this like weird VTube thing? By the way, folks, you want to help out the channel? We are over halfway to goal. Lots of Oilers in chat tonight. To fund the harassment of more innocent people and opposition, your donos always go to a great cause. Where did we lose our old video? Okay, I guess we lost the thing we were watching before. How far into it were we? We're like up to here, right?
I said you're a sexual predator and you're trying to escape and you're
I had free roam pet rats. To be fair, that's disgusting. Your stream would be 100 times better if you hid your face and had a VTuber. Really? Really? Really, Toki? You really want to go there? Wait. You really want to go there, Toki? We'll bring it back. We'll bring it back.
You're faking your death. You are not dying.
Better?
He goes, stop talking to me like that. I want to have peace with you. I'm on my deathbed. I said, and I was swearing at it. I was like foaming at the mouth. I said, you're a liar. I said, you're on a lot of trouble. They're going to get you. You can't hide from the law. I said, you know the old saying, the long arm of the law, they're
Mental hospital wiggler.
Gonna get you, Nick.
Live and local news and information on WPRO, Providence, a Cumulus station.
Sad news to pass along. A voice you've heard on the air here on WPRO.
Oh, we already seen this part.
She said, what are you talking about? I live in Geneva. I went, oh, that's interesting.
This is such a gay. This is so gay. It is better to be. Okay, we'll keep it.
But she said Nick wanted you at his service because he loved what you wrote about him. And I thought, what did I write about him? I've never written anything about him.
Yeah, my hair doesn't even fucking look like this.
Over in the UK, a man calling himself Nicholas Brown married a woman called Miranda Knight on February 22nd, 2020.
Yeah, my hair doesn't even look like this. My sister wants to see your pretty face, though, Aiden. Oh, wait. Okay, so Toki advocated to get rid of me, and now Toki wants me back. Okay, I think Toki might just be a contrarian, to be honest. I think Toki is a contrarian. Curlier? The hair looks like shit.
20, a week before the date of death stated on Nicholas Alaverdian's obituary. This man began working for a Canadian woman who's expanding her business across the pond, but things quickly turned sour. She now believes the person she employed was Nicholas Alaverdian.
I knew him as Nicholas Brown. In January 2020 is when we started. And by the end of the month, I was not very happy. He seemed passionate. He seemed like he was determined. But then one day I just had enough and I texted him because I didn't want to tell him verbally on the phone because he was very aggressive sometimes. And then that's when he started to show me his smear campaign that he prepared. I lost a lot of money, not just the 40 grand, but
someone fires you, go through the effort of preparing a smear campaign against them. Somebody says they're going to pay you and doesn't. Reveal you've recorded a call, memorize the exact date you record. Dude, it's so base. This is what you people need to be looking up to as a shining example.
But, you know, hundreds of thousands because I had to do damage control. I don't think I'm going to ever see that money. Like, I spoke to criminal lawyers over here and they're like, don't even bother. You know, he cons somebody and uses that money to con the next person. I'd be very happy though, just to see him remain behind bars.
Reports have emerged of claims of fraud, in particular
I
a
have
newspaper report from a Canadian businesswoman.
It's a convincing accent. This guy's clearly not faking it. I don't know why they would claim he was faking it. It is very convincing.
Yes, a Canadian I worked with that Canadian businesswoman, and I would love to show you how I worked for her day and night, irrespective of time zone, and even enlisted my wife to help me work with her because she was so demanding.
He makes a good point. You can't even refute that. Can't even refute that. He makes a very good point.
Early 2022, and a man claiming to be Arthur Knight was taken into custody after fears he posed a flight risk. Just weeks earlier, he had been arrested while being treated for COVID in a Glasgow hospital, as the American authorities believed he was Nicholas Alaverdian. Since news of his arrest, more women have spoken about their experiences of Nicholas's behaviour.
This is just you in a fat suit? It looks nothing like me. What are you talking about? You just say everyone is me. You literally just say everyone is me. We could get, like, Terry Crews on screen right now, and you'd be like, that's you. I'm just everyone, apparently. Somehow.
Caught in Scotland last month. A man who made a name for himself in Rhode Island before we were told he died 2 years ago.
This is movie stuff.
Despite making international headlines following repeated court appearances, this accused man didn't shy away from the spotlight and was keeping a keen eye on how events were being reported in Rhode Island.
We were going to run this story, who he was and kind of his background here and how things got to where they were, and we interviewed people who had known him. And the day before the story was going to run, Arthur Knight called our newsroom looking to talk to the boss, and basically talked to my boss on the phone for about an hour. I did an interview with him and his wife, and that was kind of the first one, and it snowballed from there. And then he would keep calling and trying to say, you should look into this and you should look into that, and things about the prosecutor in Utah. But it just struck me as, why would somebody who claims they're not the person from Rhode Island care so much about what the news is reporting in Rhode Island? Except these are the news media outlets that...
That's such a bad faith argument. That's such a bad faith argument. If they're claiming you're a fucking rapist, it doesn't mean they're from your area. It doesn't mean they're from your area because they're upset that your news station is calling them a rapist. What are you this is such a bad faith argument. Dude, everyone loses arguments to this guy. It's like unreal. This is why, like, he's such a menace. Because he just wins. He just wins every fucking time. Every time. I'm convinced. I am unironically convinced that this is Arthur Knight. Okay? I'm 850% convinced. He's not Nicholas. He's not Nicholas. Show some fucking respect for Arthur. Come on.
That he would have grown up watching and listening to and reading.
Is the game up for you? The game is just started. The game is afoot.
Even in Scotland, Arthur Knight was pushing his plea, claiming he was an Irish orphan who had changed his first name due to childhood.
He doesn't even, so he barely sounds British. Now he's claiming he's Irish?
Trauma. He said he took his wife's surname when they married. The couple invited me into their Glasgow home and insisted Arthur was still suffering from long COVID and that this was all a case of mistaken identity.
The truth needs to be known. So why am I speaking to you? Why is my wife speaking?
He's so cool. He's so cool. This is like the best strategy to get away with a crime I've ever seen. Can you imagine if he just like started pretending he was like some Indian guy named like Raj Patel? It's so cool. He's so cool. Oh my god, dude.
To you because we care about our life and our love.
This has all happened the dates before you knew him.
This Nicholas Rossi, when you actually read about what he's done, he seems to have done it consistently through his life. So why is it literally going to stop when he meets me? I know my husband. He would never put me at risk. He would never hurt me, abuse me, do anything like what I read about this Nicholas Rossi.
There is no evidence whatsoever.
She definitely knows. There's no way she doesn't, but she's just like lying to herself. I don't think she's like, I think she's like, I don't think she is like, yeah, he did this and I'm gonna defend him. I think she's like, no, this isn't him. She's just lying to herself. Even though I think she knows it's not him. I mean, you see this a lot with like the families of killers. It's like, how could they not know or whatever? Like if it's somebody you love, your fucking brain will just look for excuses. Even if like the it's much easier to accept this is mistaken identity than the person you've been living with for several years and has been such a crucial part of your life is like a rapist or a killer.
However, that
Which one is Aiden? I'm so confused. That is hilarious. That is a hilarious joke. Very funny. Very funny. Did laugh.
There are tattoos, and I've shown that to news reporter after news reporter after news reporter.
Intensive care staff from the Glasgow hospital where he was arrested told the extradition hearing about seeing distinctive arm tattoos on their patient while they treated him for COVID. These appeared similar to
people can't just have the... That's a very common tattoo.
To the images held by Interpol. During his evidence in court this week, the man himself claimed he had gone into hospital without any markings and had been tattooed while in a coma for 18 days.
That's the Cressy Brown University, yep, with the red and you got the black right there.
A tattoo artist...
Maybe he just was living in England and liked the logo of the college.
It's from Nick.
It's Aiden in a fat suit? It looks nothing... You've said everyone looks like me. He's different hair, different eye color. He's facial hair. I don't. Different face shape. I mean, is the joke just like, yeah, let's just like say everybody fucking looks like Aiden? I mean, come on. Come on, guys.
Nicholas's hometown, says his distinct ink could have been removed over time, but markings may still be visible.
That top one would be a little tough because it does look like there's some scar tissue that would be going on with the books that are open, and then of course with the red.
And can you treat the scarring?
You probably could. You'd have to probably go to a dermatologist for that to see. Again, depends on how deep it is too.
I'm assuming all this removal is very expensive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it can be very expensive. So that's why I tell people, you're gonna get tattooed, make sure it's what you want, because it hurts a lot more and it's a lot more expensive to remove it. So, you know.
It's now official. Arthur Knight is Nicholas Rossi, aka Nicholas Alaverdi.
Okay, so you just believe allegations equal evidence. Dead Air Andy? Brutal. You're right. This one I have had dead air because I've been locked into my game. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I'm getting distracted. I have nothing to say. You're right. You're right. Okay, well, that's the end of the story. I don't want to steal these people's... No, you're right. I accept your criticism. I accept your criticism. There was a insane amount of dead air here. Unacceptable, inexcusable, and I need to start practicing what I preach. And quite frankly, this is... I've just made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. Nobody's perfect. Smells like a dead corpse with all this dead air. Good one, buddy. No, wait. Wait for what? Who is Eli Porter? Who the fuck is Eli Porter, dude? Eli Porter owns you, look. Who is Eli Porter? Hating dead air is even gayer than having... No. No. Listen, I think there are good criticisms for dead air. Who the fuck is Eli Porter, dude? It's crazy. I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is. Dude, I'm too locked into this fucking game, dude. I really have a problem. I wish I never fucking discovered this. Blame Bobby B, our top Oiler. I appreciate Bobby, respect him. He's given my life purpose by showing me this game, but it's ruining me. It's play my link. What's your link? I don't have your link. What is your... Give me a... I don't know what you're linking. Just link it to me on Discord. I don't know. I don't fucking have your link. That's not a link. Just send it to me on Discord. I don't know what the... Okay, I'll put it... Okay, alright. You know what? I'll put it in. I'll put it in. By the way, we have 124 watching and only 62 likes? This is absurd. Unacceptable even. If you are a true member since day one, like the stream, support us. Give me money. Well, you don't have to give me money, but like the fucking stream. That part is mandatory. Alright, where's your link? Where's your link, dude? I can't fucking find... Is it live? Do I have to filter to live chat? There we go. Alright, I assume I put that into the end of it. Dude, why didn't you just send it to me on fucking Discord? This is so gay. It's like this? It doesn't lead me to anything. Just send me a link. I don't fucking... So gay. You're tired? How's that my fault, Toki? How's that my fault? I'm a little tired too, but I'm streaming through it. I'm streaming through the pain. You know, I'm not looking at your fucking link, dude. Please play this. All right, what is this? Happy Valentine's Day. What the fuck is... Oh my god. Why did Boblax become black? The fuck is that? I don't have anything left to stream about, so I don't know if maybe we'll just end it here. I have nothing left for you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We've been going live now for 3 hours. Just about. Why do you look... Who is... Ugh, dude, this is ridiculous. This is insanity. I look like everyone, somehow. Somehow I'm every single person alive. Great stuff. Got it. So the tanks will just demolish the infantry, and then our infantry will swoop in. I got it. And then we'll launch naval invasions here and here. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just clicking shit. Can we watch Hitler's translated speeches? You look like Hugh Jackman. Damn, bro. I appreciate it. Okay, you can say I look like him. You can say I look like him. Appreciate. I definitely don't, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Fuck, we're low on we need artillery and infantry equipment. Alright, fuck. Alright, cool. Do you play I don't play Marvel Rivals. In a situation like this, you need green air support? Yeah, I know. Wait. Oh, yeah, I forgot to link... Fuck, dude. I forgot to link my air wings. Standing by. Now, we already have naval superiority. So what we'll do is... You're right. What we'll do is... Why is he in Greece? No, we don't want our naval bombers. We want... Oh. Well, we have an interwar fighter. We'll link him to here? Or we'll link him to this army, and then we'll do air superiority. And then we want close air support. Hold on. Close air support. Fuck. Where the fuck is it, dude? Listen, I'm shit at this game. I know. You don't need to tell me. Alright, we already have close air support on here, so... And I don't know any of the fucking hotkeys either, so... Alright, no, we're good. We want, like... Yeah, we'll do them on this guy, too. Cool. Alright. Topics, Aiden? Alright, let me look at topics. I'm not watching this dog shit, bro. Linking me straight Cheeks content, dude. Actual Cheeks. Some divisions assigned to this army have not reached the start position yet. Like who, bro? Alright, let's get our naval invasion going. We'll do an offensive. I mean, even he thinks it. Fuck. We'll have this guy retreat, because he's just taking up supplies. We'll have... Alright. We'll have, so he'll retreat. We'll have him kind of fall back here for a sec, just to get resupplied. It's okay if they move in a little bit. We have room. See, the problem is I want to attack from here, but we have to get Bulgaria involved. And I made that mistake on a previous save. And when you get Bulgaria involved, they get greedy. And they just take everything. It's fucking... The Bulgarians are so greedy. Dude, Turkey Tom's people are, like, insanely greedy. Go on an autistic history rant or something about what? Give me a prompt. Give me a prompt. Give me a prompt. To talk about what? What do you want me to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Ask me a question. Ask when I think about something. I don't know. BAI, dude. BAI. No, wait, fuck. Cancel previous orders. Move them over here. Resupply for a sec. Alright, we don't... Why is he in this fucking battle? We don't want him here. Alright, cool. Was Caesar's death justified? I'm not super knowledgeable about ancient Rome. I'm more into modern history. I don't know. I think modern history is like way cooler. Personally. I mean, I get the fascination with Rome, to be fair, but like it just was never like really my thing, because with the world wars, it's like much more it's like we have videos of it. I think that's like what adds like how insane it was. First time missiles were used in combat. Yeah, it's just such a fucking crazy situation. Talk about Taiwan and their how we protect them for their superconductors or something. What do you want me to tell you about Taiwan? Basically, the nationalists and the communists of China went to war for control of the country. You had two dictators, Mao and Chiang Kai-shek, and then Japan invaded. They agreed to postpone the war. They're like, let's take a break from this shit and fight Japan. They fought Japan. Japan got butt fucked with a little bit of help from the Americans. And then they resumed the war, and Chiang Kai-shek got pushed back to Taiwan. The Republic of China, the once predominantly ruling government, was limited to a set of islands, and we protect them because we need superconductors and fuck communism. Why am I getting so fucked here, dude? Oh, our naval invasion started. Probably a good idea to... Probably should have checked in on that. Alright. Fuck. We're already getting fucked, aren't we? We're already in circle. Oh, dude. Am I gonna have to restart this again? Come on, if I could just push. Just push through the fucking desert. Come on. Just break out of this pocket. Okay? I guess I could send in some reinforcements. Who do we have? I don't want to send, like, fucking tanks and shit. Let's borrow... Yeah, let's borrow some infantry. Why not? Have them go join up here. And then... Alright. Why do you never backflip? You know, I often find myself asking myself the same questions. Why do I never backflip? I think my life would be a lot better if I did. Wait, hold on. We'll move him to this tile. Dude, I'm getting actually fucked. I'm getting completely fucked. Alright, reinforcements are arriving. Be warned. Sure, and we'll send in... Why don't we send in some mobile guys, too? When these guys come in, they're fucked. When these guys come in, they're totally fucked. Wait. Do we even need to send them... Why don't we just send them here? We're already being transported. Alright, retreat. We'll reinforce... Fuck, we're already being... We'll stop being transported. Where the fuck are you? Fuck, dude. Okay, there we go. Got it. Alright, the reinforcements are coming. Get fucked. Why is Trump sanctioning Taiwan if they want if they don't want Taiwan to cozy up with China again? I'm not even going to pretend to know a lot about it, but it seems like Trump wants semiconductors. I mean, Biden also... Didn't Biden do the CHIPS Act or whatever? But it seems like both presidents wanted semiconductors to become, you know... Didn't want us to be reliant on semiconductors, but it seemed like Trump's taking a more aggressive approach with it. I could be totally off on that. Fuck! Fuck, dude. Fuck. Fuck, he got totally destroyed. Alright. New plan. New plan. Alright. We're doing a new naval invasion. And we'll start it from here. We got absolutely destroyed. And we'll go here. Alright, make sure everyone's in on it. It's risky. They're telling us it's risky. Alright. Dude, Turkey's destroying me. What is going on? Let's turn the volume up a little bit. I was able to do it. Maybe Romania won't make... so many demands? I don't know. Dude, we're getting destroyed. Come on. How long? 6 days? Or more than 6. We only have 6 days loaded. Come on. 9, 10. Just need 15 days. How are we out of... We're out of... No wonder we're getting fucked, dude. We're out of fuel. Do we just buy more oil? Trade. Oil. How are we out of fuel? Fucking... Yeah, we're not gonna buy from Turkey. We're kind of fucking them up, aren't we? Fuck, our factories are working on... Dude, this is great. No. Stockpile's empty. Dude, we're fucked. You annex Romania? That's how you get fuel? We're kind of fighting Turkey, aren't we? Got you. I like the way you think. Do we annex Turkey while we're taking Romania? How the fuck do we get fuel? Change your econ laws? Would that be exports? Dude, I am new as fuck to this game. We are maxing out refineries. Alright. Fuck. Maybe we need to just sacrifice building and get fucking. If we buy oil, that counts for fuel, right? Why is it not doing any? Daily gain, base gain, from refineries. Why is our fuel getting fucked? Oh, is it because of our tanks?
Formazione.
Got it.
Avanzate.
We'll move our tanks back. That's probably why our fuel's getting fucked. We have so many tanks.
Comandi.
I think you could just use total mobilization. Right. Huh? Alright, we need a national prospect for oil. It's probably a good one to do. Well, we're winning navy-wise. Alright, we've landed. Wait, 3 divisions? Why only 3 fucking... Are you kidding?
Pronto all'azione.
What? Why did none of the... We're gonna get fucked here. We're gonna get absolutely fucked. Wait, why are they not... Oh, well, we've pushed in with 3 fucking... We're gonna get fucked. We only have 3 divisions.
Attento.
Why did it only push in with 3 fucking divisions? I give up. I give up. Thank you guys for watching. Good stream. I'm going to bed. Thank you.